I'm gonna have to say this, and I know Kansu does not want me to do this. You're not even worth discussing these matters with.
Little motherfucker gonna try to rob me. Well, I'm gonna show you how we do it up here in Benton. No, I wasn't trying to rob. Shut up! Why I bust a cap up in you. Now who sent you?
So what's up? We standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
All nuts the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you messed up. So fess up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. So what's up? We standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
All nuts the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you messed up. So fess up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. Sword clown, know that it's over like it's the fourth down. We the source now. Hear a big bang with tanks on ground. More than the scrimmage, yeah, we forcing the sin, yeah, we pushing no limit. Leave the fight with no blemish. You the hometown, but you not receiving no privilege. We gon' do you bad, rape, rob, and pillage. But we nothing like the white man. I can see that you a big fan. Every time we go live, I see you in the damn stands. Watching and plotting, I see that you stalking a bit.
Yes.
You laughing at people, they seeing you taking.
Here's the definition of plagiarism. The practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as
Crazy
one's
ass nigga, we the source, yeah, we cite source. Spitting hot flames more hotter than hot sauce. For real? Drummy ass nigga, I'm grabbing a light sauce. Yeah. Me and my amigos, we kill it and take off. So wake the hell up, the source of what validators. When you looking at the source, we know that we elevated. Our ancestors' writings, we work to commemorate it. Now you fully understand why the source is so motivated.
Source gang. Yo, man, we back, man. Source in the building. Shout out to the SUC, man. Sourced Up Click. Right? Shout out to the Gold Coast Gorillas. Shout out to the Tanks on the Ground, man. And as always, man, to the law and to the testimony, man. All right? This is what we about, man. Sourcing up. Right? So we got a special guest in the building. Right? Rabbi Lewis. We're gonna toss this topic around the table, man. The brother you know, came to us and wanted to have this conversation concerning, is the New Testament historical? I mean, that's kind of broad, man, but we're gonna tackle this thing, man. We're gonna hear the brother out. You understand me? And before we do, man, I want to introduce the panel, man. Right? Gold Coast Gorillas in the building, man. Right?
Y'all already know what it is. Umbaku in the building, man. King Self. And I got a bunch of questions for the rabbi, since he want to talk about it, the New Testament. I got some questions about the historicity of this, man. Like, real talk. You know, and I'm gonna say this too, and this get, you know, this off topic or this off the thing, but I want to say to my brother Jeremiah, you remember when 50 Cent, he switched the song to Power. He switched the song when he switched the intro song to Power to the other one, and everybody was mad, you know, motherfucker, because he switched it. Say, bro. I'm like that, like, bro. We say stop. We need to go back. We need to go stop. I'm on that one, but you know, hey, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go back to the. I want to go back to the old source. The old source debate song is the best. That's the greatest. That's the greatest source debate intro in the fuck on the planet. But hey, I got some questions for Rabbi Lewis, and you know what I'm saying, it's finna go down tonight, y'all. Hey, y'all call in, y'all like, subscribe, Gold Coast Gorillas, SUC in the building. It ain't the game say the source is a motherfucking stick up, goddamn. You did? Let's get it.
That's right, man. That's right, man. Gold Coast Gorillas in the building, man. Well, let me say something about the new intro song, right? The reason that's special to me, man, is that it was produced by our very own Pro Rizzo One, man. Right, man. See, I put some respect on that brother's name. That brother's
big talented. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. Hold on, man. Let me turn my horn on, man. You know what I'm saying? For my bro. For my bro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give my chick a round of applause.
You're too kind.
Hey, Dom.
You know what? We gonna rock that till the wheels fall
Right
off.
there, bro.
But I don't give a goddamn, nigga. We still gonna go with the that motherfucker was
Hey,
jamming.
So, bro, if you don't take that V-neck T-shirt off, brother,
Hey, man.
you look like old man over there, bro.
Hey, nigga, I'm like a 1960 porn star, nigga. You got me.
Oh my God.
I'm in there,
Hey,
baby.
family.
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say shalom to y'all. Takes on the ground. Hey, let's get it in. I'm about to jump on the bike and I'm about to head to the crib, so I'm gonna see y'all when I get there.
Yeah, let's go, man. Be careful out there. Be careful out there, man. Right? Hey, man. Look, man. We got the Scholastic Killmonger, man, all the way from H-Town, man, in the building, man. Talk to us, family.
Shalom. What's good, family, man? I'm just here to be part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Get in and participate with the source, because you know we source stuff click and we ready to get it in at all times, baby.
That's right, man. Right?
My hood, my nigga, man. Right.
Yeah, man. We got Dallas Bread, right? Source Debate League champion, man. Put some respect on his brother's name, man. The Scholastic Bully, man. What's going on? I speak to the family.
Man, you know what it is. 7 gang over everything. Source gang over everything. 7 candlesticks up in any debate. That's a stick up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to address something, man. We really do our due diligence in our studies and our information. Y'all gonna see that tonight. And we bring forth citations and sources. We don't go and look for validation at other channels such as Sonetta. And I'm just gonna say the name, like our opponents, quote unquote, you're really not competing with us. Y'all ain't even got a channel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go over there and get embarrassed, dog walk, and get kicked off the channel.
Say the name so I can say it.
Lying,
man.
Man, you lying then niggas is lame as hell.
You niggas pussy. God damn it. You lying then niggas.
You went straight to it.
I've been waiting on the nigga to say the name. Nigga.
Hey, the kitten league. But you know what? Hey, we over here cultivating and building our channel. They got to look for somebody else to help them.
Fuck that. That nigga, the CEO that let the goddamn bullies off the leash. The CEO that cut the goddamn chains off the motherfucking hyenas and lions. Fuck you, lions, then niggas. Fuck all you hoe ass niggas to the teeth. I'm going in with it, nigga. Fuck you bullshit. Fuck you hoe ass niggas.
I'm with the Gold Coast. I'm with the Gold Coast Gorilla on that one. I'm material
already.
Yeah, I'm material better than yours. My quality better than yours, and we got a YouTube channel. Y'all looking for a home. You guys are the nomads of the internet. Y'all trying to find somewhere to stay. You understand?
They still in the wilderness. We setting up the kingdom.
The God self been waiting to come up at me, man. I'm telling you now, man. This the Kemet God that came out. This ain't self or the Bible. The little nigga that was the third son of Adam. You know, he gave birth to Enoch and all that old ass shit. No, nigga, this the nigga from Kemet. This the nigga.
Yeah, this the self that cut off penises.
Nigga, I killed my own nephew, nigga, for the goddamn throne, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. I kill you, nigga.
Hey, Pro Rizzo.
Stop playing.
Pro Rizzo, man. What we gonna do with these guys, man? What we gonna do? Talk to me, Pro Rizzo, man.
Man, you gotta feed them, water them, and hope they grow. That's all.
hey, what they say on that movie Shotters? If I don't feed the wolves will get me.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you gotta feed the wolves, man.
That's right.
We hungry, man. We hungry.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. I've been itching, waiting on y'all to say something. So you know what, Jisu, you let it go. Why? I was cool, calm, and collected. I was waiting on you to say something, but you did. You're goddamn right. I'm finna get down on these motherfuckers' ass. Let's get it, goddamn.
All right, man. All right. So we got a guest. We got a guest in the building, man. I'm gonna turn everything over to Pro Rizzo, man.
All right, folks. Y'all know what time it is. You know what we do here at the Source. The Source Up or Shut Up. Tonight we have Rabbi Lewis. Rabbi Lewis called me up about this issue about resurrection. New Testament. Is it historical? Is it factual? Tonight, he's going to bring out some things that he believes that refutes the historical data, what we have. He's going to bring out some things that may make you look at the New Testament in a different way. So we're going to shoot holes in his argumentation. And he's going to shoot holes in our biblical translation. But he represents a large part of the community that does hold that the New Testament is uninspired, not historical, not credible. So this is a long-awaited conversation for the source. So this is a milestone for us. I don't believe we've had this conversation, not this type of conversation. We're not here to lambaste, but we will put the arguments to a test. Everything has to be tested and tried. And you have to see if it's stable. Is it balanced? Is it plausible? Is it logical? Ontological? Reasonable? We're going to see that tonight. He'll do his best to show you the weaknesses in the historical data. And that deals with historians, grammatarians, linguists, scribes, theologians. It deals with everything that we understand about the Bible. He's going to try to show us the antagonists. So, Rabbi Lewis, how you doing out?
Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the especially merciful. I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. And I see what was in the life from their own egos. My name is Rabbi Lewis, aka Louis Islam. So honor to be on the panel. And they've heard of me from SVDL or some other panels I've done. I've done a myriad of panels, So inshallah, tonight will be an incredible discussion. And hopefully it'll be very exciting for you.
Okay. Rabbi Lewis, would you tell us exactly where your school of thought begins, just for the sake of the audience and for the panel?
Yeah, definitely. So I used to be with Great Millstone years ago, 12 years ago. Great Millstone, the Black Hebrew Israelite group. Then I became a Hebrew rooter. Then I came into Shia Islam, It was just like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just one question. How long were you with GMS before you made the transition?
Okay, probably about 7 years.
7 years. Okay. Okay, so you 7 years in, and then you converted to Islam, or you began to study Islam? How did that go?
Yeah, so I was still Hebrew Israelite, but I was taking Arabic courses through Sheikh Abu Toba from Timbuktu Seminary School. I went to seminary school myself. So I was enrolled in the Arabic course, but I was still a Hebrew Israelite. And I remember my Sheikh Abu Toba, my instructor, crying hysterically because his mom had died a kafir. A kafir is Arabic, means like a disbeliever. And he was hysterically crying. Like he was so sad because in Islam, you can't pray for your parents if they were not believers. They were kafirs. So
Right.
It's so historical because he couldn't pray for his mother, and then she might go to Gehenna, the hellfire. And I remember thinking, this guy's indoctrinated, and that was when I was still a Hebrew Israelite. But then, through a series of events, for lack of better words, I woke up to the fact that I was in error, and the catalyst for that was just studying the Arabic language, how beautiful the Arabic language was. So once I got a good bead on the Arabic language, it opened me up into becoming an actual Muslim.
Okay, so you leave GMS after being there 7 years, and then you decide to study Arabic, and you convert over to Islam.
Correct. Like I said, the catalyst for that was certainly the Arabic language, how magnificent the language is, how beautiful it is.
One last question. what exactly made you leave GMS? You never gave us any data on why you left GMS.
Okay, so after I left GMS, right? Like I was with a group of Black Israelites called the House of Yah out of Chicago in Louisiana. They're not Messianic. I was studying with them, and one of my students who I brought into the faith, Black Israelite faith, was with Zabak. You guys know Zabak, right? From House of Israel.
Oh yeah.
So my student was actually a member of Zabak's camp as well. He was studying with me, but he was also fellowshipping with Zabak's camp. So one night we had a discussion between me and Zabak in his camp about some issues with the Book of Daniel or whatever that my teacher had showed me, and yes, you know, the reason why I left GMS is because, you know, I had a good understanding of the Bible, and I could see that, you know, they were in error in many ways.
Such as?
Yeah, they have twisted logic. Like they're Black Hebrew Israelites, but they believe in the New Testament. I don't understand. I don't know any. I mean, there are Jews for Judaism, but I don't know any real Jews who believe in the Brit Hadashah Shah. So it's the New Testament. I don't know anybody who does that.
Hold, Rizzo, let me ask him a question. Is that the only thing that you disagree with GMS about?
You got some background noise.
Well, the background of my question is, I'm not gonna deviate or beat around the bush from the question. Was the question that Brother Polite had asked those brothers on the video that he did about the age of the child of which y'all will be taken in the kingdom of heaven? Did you disagree with them, or did you agree with them with that, about the age of the child of the woman where you're supposed to marry? I'm muting the mic.
Okay. Rabbi?
Yeah. So and they just have twisted logic. Like they believe in the New Testament. I don't understand how you claim to be a Jew and at the same time simultaneously you believe in the New Testament. It doesn't make sense to me. Like all the Jews I know don't believe in the I mean, you know, you got some Hebrew rooters who do, but they're twisted as well. They're very twisted. Their understanding is twisted.
Okay, so how do you define New Testament? How do you, I mean, where are you getting the basis of your understanding about New Testament and real Jews? This is that is a very unique way of putting it. Since that's what we're discussing anyway. You're saying no real Jews believe in the New Testament, right?
Correct.
You don't have to mute out every time out, but this is an open discussion. You can leave your mic unmuted. So what is your understanding about New Testament, Rabbi?
Okay, for what I understand is that it's bogus. You know, the plot and summaries of the text has been proven to be interpolation, or we call in Arabic badah. Badah is Arabic from innovation. It's full of badah. It's full of tawfiq, which is Arabic for textual variance. It's also full of tajdid, which is Arabic for blasphemy. So, and I'm prepared to prove that tonight that the New Testament is just that it's new and it's twisted.
So, Tawdif. How do you define Tawdif? Tawdif is the Arabic form for our English word blasphemy, which comes from the Greek blaspheme, or blasphemos. What in the New Testament is actually blasphemy, according to your knowledge?
Wow, good question. I'm overwhelmed what I have to say to that, but I'll try to be as coherent as possible. You know, Jesus claims to be the Son of God. You know, Allah does not beget, nor is he begotten. You know, according to our Holy Quran. So he claims to be the Son of God, which is blasphemy. You know,
that's what the Jews stated in the first century. Here, let's show you a citation. I would like for you to. I'm going to share my screen here, so we can walk through. I want you to walk through this with us and show us where you get your understanding from it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this verse, and this comes out of the Greek New Testament. I gotta switch screens here. This is the book of John. I'll share my screen now. This is the book of John, 10 at verse 33. Am I coming through? Is it visible on the screen for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. And the Jews answered him, saying, for good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, tardif. And because thou, being a man, makest thyself God, because he said that God was his father. Right?
Even now, I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Pro Rizzo, you there? I think we might have lost him. So he was asking you about St. John's 10:33.
Yeah, he was asking you about the word blasphemy. He was saying, how was he saying blasphemy as far as him being the Son of God? That's the way
I'm sorry, I dropped off.
There you go. So he can speak for himself. There you go.
Okay, let me go back to this. My apologies. So in the 10th chapter of John, folks, I'm going to read this excerpt so we can get a good understanding of the backdrop of this. Verse 29, this is what he says, my Father which gave me them is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Notice that's twice. Jesus is referring to his Father, which Jews would have understood that to be Elohim. Then he goes on to make another declarative statement. He's saying, I and my Father are one. We're one and the same. Which that's what Elohim is. One unit. Two beings, one unit. The Jews wanted to take stones and kill him for saying that. How do you explain this to be blasphemy? Identical with the authentic Jews in the first century. How do you explain that, Rabbi Lewis?
Okay, all due respect, I know you're innocent, and because you believe, and I mean, no, I don't mean to sound addicted, but that's just the fact of it. If you're doing the research, you know that. If you do some research, you know that according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, which is as credible as any source, the Gospel of John is undoubtedly a fabrication. So I have the actual quote from the Encyclopedia Britannica, and it says right there in the Encyclopedia Britannica that the Gospel of John is undoubtedly a fabrication. So anything in John, Jesus says, "I'm God, I'm the Son of God," and the whole blah, the whole nine. This is a fabrication. And the Encyclopedia Britannica tells you that the Gospel of John is undoubtedly a fabrication. So, Gospel of John is bogus.
So you're saying the Encyclopedia Britannica says so?
Correct. The Encyclopedia Britannica says, and I quote, Gospel of John is undoubtedly a fabrication. So where it says Jesus, the whole Gospel of John, you can throw it out because it's been proven to be fabricated by the scholars of the highest eminence.
Just because the Encyclopedia Britannica says so?
Correct.
Is that your only source?
No.
I want to ask you something about the Encyclopedia Britannica. What do you know about it?
Quite a bit. To introduce myself, people may not know again who I am. My name is Rabbi Lewis. I've written over 30 books myself, and I've written over 10 books on the Gospels alone. I've literally dedicated 10 books to debunking the Gospels, just the Gospels themselves. So I'm very privy to the topic.
Do you know when the first Britannica was published?
I'm sure it's in my book, and I'd have to go back in my work. I've written over 30 books, and I've written over 10 books on this topic. So, but go ahead. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
It was first published in 1760. That's about 1768 years after Christ dies. And you're saying something like this is going to tell us something in the first century is bogus based on which editor?
Okay, can I respond to that?
Sure. Go ahead.
This is the pot calling the kettle black. Let me ask you a question. It's not on topic. It's very relevant to the topic. What's the first picture we have? What it dated to? The first picture we have of Jesus, not Jesus himself, but him being crucified. What's the first picture or effigy or motif that we have of Jesus being crucified? Can you give me a date? Because I'm making a point here.
No, I don't know how that has anything to do with the Encyclopedia Britannica, but if you want to segue off into that, sure, we can. We can talk about that.
Yes, the question is, what is the earliest effigy? Or
go
ahead.
Tell us. I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Because you made a fallacious statement that the Saint Britannica is Johnny come lately, essentially, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's some odd years Johnny come lately.
Right. Okay. No problem. So, does anyone want to tackle that? Does anybody know the earliest picture of Jesus being crucified?
I don't see how a picture would be more relevant than a historical account, and we have historical accounts.
No. My question is, what's the first depiction? What's the first depiction?
Okay, but I understand what your question is, but I don't see how a picture could be the be all and end all in a situation where you're trying to find out whether someone existed or not, or whether they lived at a certain time period or not, or whether they died. Like, all right, hold on. I was about to say, because the consensus. Hold on, I got you, brother. You had some time to build. Let me say what I gotta say. Because the consensus is amongst the scholars is that the facts about Jesus' life is that he was baptized by John the Baptist, and he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. There's no question about that by any secular or believing historians that deal with the Bible. All of them confirm those things.
Okay, can I respond?
Go ahead, bro.
Sure. That's bogus. You ever Julian Doe? Ever heard of Julian Doe's work, Crucifixion, the Doodle? But Julian Doe?
I'm a source up then. That's what I'm gonna do, because when these people just start yelling stuff is fallacious, the best thing to do is source up on them.
Hey, can I bring up a point? Is it okay if King Cell bring up a point?
Go ahead.
I want to share my screen, if that's okay.
Go ahead, King Cell.
Let me share screen. Share.
Just your background a little now.
Okay, let me mute the TV. Alright, let me see, share screen. Let's go right here. Let me see, right here. Can y'all see my screen?
Oh yeah, blow it up for us.
Do I need to blow it up or?
Yeah.
I can't blow it up. I think
slide your. No, we can see it. We can see it.
I bet. Let's go right here. And it was so that they were accomplished, and she brought. Okay, here we go right here. Swaddling clothes, another angel. Okay. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree to Caesar Augustus and the taxing. This is the nativity story. This is the story of Luke.
Mm-hmm.
In the New Testament, and there were the same country shepherds. Hold on, let's go. And unto you that was born this day in the city of David, which is a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And there shall be a sign unto you. You shall be a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in the manger. So I believe that everybody knows how this story came about, right? The story is that Mary was impregnated with Hey, with the Holy Spirit.
With Joseph, baby.
See, that's why I like you as a Hebrew, James. That's why I like you.
I'm just saying the Peshitta doesn't have that account in it.
But see the thing about
but everybody Bible, don't go ahead.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The thing about the Bible is this is the King James version of the Bible. So what the brother said, and he said that the man is saying that he's the Son of God. When we read this, we know that this is not possible. Like what you just said, that Jesus is the son of Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
So what the rabbi is saying is actually true. That Incorrect. Him saying that he's the son of God is blasphemy. He's not the son of God. He's the son of Joseph.
The son of God is a title of the son of God is the title of a coming Messiah that was supposed to come through the seed of David.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't born through the Holy Spirit. So none of
the Holy Spirit did overtake her when she conceived.
Hold on, now you're confusing me. So now in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, because if I go if I go to Matthew, it will say that Joseph never laid with Mary.
We have no manuscripts with that portion of it in it.
That's saying that
single manuscript.
That's saying that Joseph never laid with Mary.
No, that has the virgin birth scenario in it. We don't have a single manuscript that has it. I mean, I know some people on here do accept that, so I'm not trying to just be like, downplaying it, but on my stance, I can't find a single manuscript that has the virgin birth account. And even if I read the King James version, I don't see she just magically had a baby. I can definitely see how people can take it that way, because it does have a little section and says after she conceived, he knew or not, and stuff like that. But I mean, that could be taken multiple ways. It could be taken as, okay, well, he didn't have sex with her after he found out she was pregnant, or that he never had sex with her at all. So I can see how people can take it that way. I just take it the former.
But see, I take it like, because I'm trying to find the one where the scripture.
But the thing about the rabbi, though, I was going to that Jesus existed. Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist, and Jesus was crucified under Pontius Pilate. And what I wanted to do was, validate those points, because he seemed to be against those points. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and pull this up. So first, I'm gonna go to Tacitus. My screen should be sharing. I'm gonna go to Tacitus. This book 15, chapter 24, where he states that Jesus was crucified by Pontius Pilate. Now, Tacitus lived from 56 AD to 120 AD. So it was about 25 years after the account. So he getting firsthand knowledge from people who witnessed this. And even when you see it, the way he talks about the Christians, like it says in the source with the negative tone, it makes it unlikely that it was forged by a Christian scribe. And this is from Eddie Boyd, the Jesus legend, a case for the historical reliability of the synoptic Jesus tradition. And then you had Mara Bar Serapion. He wrote a letter to his son and mentioned Jesus of Nazareth. So it's a lot of evidence that shows that that Jesus existed right here. Virtually all scholars support the historicity of Jesus and reject the Christ myth theory that Jesus never existed by Robert E. von Voist in Jesus Outside the New Testament and Introduction to the Ancient Evidence. In this one, two events almost universally assent are that Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist and was crucified by order of Pontius Pilate. And that's from James Dunn and Jesus Remembered on page 339. And right here, you see the Pontius Pilate, the stone with Pontius Pilate mentioned on it. And so I just want to point these things out to show that this is historical fact. This isn't something that we just over here, pushing out because we accept the New Testament. This is supported outside of the scriptures, just like it is inside the scriptures.
Exactly. So, Rabbi, back to you.
Okay, can I respond to that?
Floor is yours, brother.
All right, this is bogus. This is totally bogus. This is an excellent book by Julian Doe. You guys familiar with Julian Doe's work? Crucifixion, the Doodle.
Julius Dolesworth?
Julian Doe's work, Crucifixion, the Doodle.
Okay, what about it?
In his book, he inspired my book I wrote a book called Crucifixion, History of Fabrication, where I debunked the crucifixion story, right? But it was inspired by, it was an older Julian Doe's work, Crucifixion, the Doodle. He actually was a filmmaker, right? And he actually went to Jerusalem, right? And you guys hear me?
Yeah.
He was a filmmaker. Julian Doe's a filmmaker. He went to Jerusalem back a couple years back, 2008, right? He wrote a book, but they was trying to reenact the crucifixion scene because they were shooting a video called The Life of Brian, right? And there were no trees there to do the crucifixion scene in Jerusalem. There were no trees there, you know? So they had to get trees imported to actually shoot the crucifixion because there were no trees in Jerusalem. And this is backed up by the biblical text because back when King David and King Solomon, the time of King David and King Solomon, they were building the temple, Solomon built the temple because David had too much blood on his hand, right? So they're building the temple, and they didn't have any trees to build the temple in Jerusalem. So not only were there no trees there during the time of JC, Jesus of Nazareth, but back in the time of David and Solomon, there were no trees in Jerusalem. They had to get trees imported from Lebanon, right? You guys know what Lebanon is, right?
Okay.
Correct. We're not getting your point.
Lebanon is 5 hours away from Jerusalem. So if you was taking a car to Jerusalem to Lebanon, it would take you 5 hours to get there. So King David and King Solomon sent letters to King Hiram, right? You guys know King Hiram was, right?
Okay.
Right, but we're trying to get your point.
Yeah, so he sends letters to King Hiram to send him some trees to build the temple. Because, like I said, there were no temples in Jerusalem. There was no trees there. He had to send letters to King Hiram, the Canaanite dude from Lebanon, to send him trees to build the temples because there were no trees in Jerusalem.
No trees.
That's one of the bullet points of the book.
What does that prove, though? Okay, let's go. There's no trees in Jerusalem. Now, what does that prove?
Right.
Okay, so that's second way into proof. So here's the headshot of the book. I'll give it away. You guys will check the book out. It's called Crucifixion Fabrication. But here's the headshot in the book. Now, I covered other topics. This is the headshot. Because he quotes Tacitus, and Tacitus is not an eyewitness. Tacitus was not an eyewitness. In fact, every eyewitness never mentions Jesus. Let's see who does mention Jesus. You have guys
for witness to say there's no trees in Jerusalem in the first century.
Not only were there no trees in the first century, back at the time of King David and King Solomon, there were no trees there. They sent letters to King Hiram like, yo, man, we need trees to build the temple because there's no trees here. So they sent trees from Lebanon, which is 5 hours away from Jerusalem, to come and build the temple because they didn't have any trees.
Yeah, we familiar with that. We familiar with that, brother, but we're trying to figure out what your point is.
Yeah, Mike, hold on. They trying to get to the point of what you mean by no trees because
are you trying to say there could be no crucifixion because there's no trees?
Correct. He asserts that because, like I said,
they import the trees from Lebanon to do a crucifixion.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Let me say this in a yield. Then I yield. He was shooting a film called The Life of Brian, where it was reenacting the crucifixion scene, from the Bible, and there were no trees to reenact the scene. They had to leave the state to go get trees to reenact the scene. But that's just the opening salvo. But go ahead, and I'll respond after that.
All right, let me just say this real quick. That does nothing to disprove anything. Right. To just try to discredit Tacitus because he's not an eyewitness. There are many people who are taken into court as secondhand witnesses to things all the time. So you can't just try to discard someone because they didn't see it themselves. But I got eyewitnesses. If you want eyewitnesses,
well, let me respond.
Hold on. No. We let you go for your time.
Okay,
let me go for mine. All right. And to the point, you bringing up a British filmmaker in competition against PhD scholars who study this area of history for a living is ridiculous, Rabbi.
That's
Yeah. Let me say this. I'm gonna have to agree with the brother James on. I thought you was going somewhere with the trees, with the points with the trees, but you kind of let me down with that one. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you was going somewhere. I know where you was going, but you didn't go the way that I wanted you to go with it.
That's because I got cut off. I got cut off. I wasn't finished.
But the brother James is also correct. You know what I'm saying? That you didn't bring up a good point with the trees or with the British filmmaker.
Yeah, and let me say this.
I do
let
agree.
me say this too, real quick, man.
Hold on. Yeah, Mike. But I do agree with you about the trees because I know exactly where you're going with it. Mm-hmm. And them goat herders ain't had no trees around there to be building nothing. But if, I'm gonna tell you like this, brother, if you gonna come in this fight, say, bro, you got to do better than this with these brothers, with these Hebrews over here. These are different type of brew of Hebrews. You dealing with a whole nother pack of Hebrews. These ain't your regular Hebrews, bro.
Let me say this. Let me say this, and I'll give it right over to you, Rabbi Lewis. 1 second. We know during the time of Christ, around the first century, that Jerusalem was occupied by the Romans, and that occupation generated certain governors to rule over that region. The purpose of them ruling over that region is to keep the people civil and to quell rebellion. One of the primary execution rituals that they utilized was crucifixion. So of course they would bring in or send for trees. You understand? So they could create.
My screen froze or something.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, of course they would send for the tools that they need to quell rebellion. So that's not a strong point at all, brother, when they were being occupied by the Romans. And that was one of their main instruments of punishment. I yield.
Okay, can I respond now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first thing, that's bogus. First thing, if you look at the word for cross in Greek, it's starios, right? Now, starios, if you look up in history, never meant a cross, like a piece of timber with another piece of timber across and making the T sign. The word starios always meant historically, before this term was hijacked in the 6th century, starios always meant a single piece of wood that was used for impalement. You know what impalement is, right?
Stake.
Yes. Stake.
Yeah, so starios never means a cross. The word for cross is starios, and it means a single piece of wood that they would stick up your anus, excuse my language, and it'll come out your mouth for impaling. This whole cross is not historical. Now,
nobody ever said anything about a cross. I didn't mention a cross. Brother James didn't mention a cross. Pro Rizzo didn't mention a cross. I don't know why you bringing that up.
Okay, so that's proof that what I'm saying about starios is historical. That starios always meant a single piece of wood, not two pieces of wood imposed on top of each other to make a cross.
He was still crucified, Rabbi. Come on.
Huh?
Right. Like, bro,
he was still crucified, no matter how it was.
Okay, so let me make my last point.
But you got to prove that he was the Son of God. That's the point.
Come on, King Seth. Hold up. I don't want to divert from what we're saying because, again, no one said anything about a cross. So I don't know why. I mean, why are you bringing this point up? But go ahead, Rabbi.
Okay, so again, as I'm saying, crucifixion was not a capital punishment. It was one, and let's prove that. Starios again means one piece of wood that they were used to impale people with. There were no crosses back then. So let's prove that. What is the earliest? Again, I beg the question again for the panel. What is the earliest picture we have? Depiction of Jesus being crucified. What year was that?
That was in 1 AD. Say
it again.
1 AD.
No, incorrect.
Yes, that's first century.
No, show me. Okay, pull it up. Show me. Share your screen and show an image of Jesus being crucified in the first century.
No images. There's nobody taking digital photos with camcorder.
I'm talking about a drawing, or, brother. I'm talking about a drawing, a depiction, or effigy of Jesus being crucified in the first century.
What does it prove if no picture exists? What does that prove?
Well, we could cross that road when we get there. I'm asking the question. Can you show me
fiction? He's saying, what is
it's not going to prove anything. The historical account is he was crucified. You can't change the historical account by lack of picture.
Right, and you're trying to superimpose our understanding of the cross and the crucifix. We're not making that argument, right? Like we teach that Christ wasn't hung up the way they show you in Christianity. We're not Christians, bro. You understand? So we don't teach that. So I don't know why you're trying to debunk something that, I mean, that's a straw man.
I didn't know that. So excuse me. I did not know that because I'm not familiar with you brothers teaching. So excuse me. I did not know that. So
hey, but you still have the burden of proof. You're right.
saying I'm about to
prove there was no palm trees, no fig trees, and there's no olive trees in the first century. Really? And you say, well, what's the earliest depiction? 1 CE. That's when he was crucified.
Hold on, show me an effigy, a picture, a drawing, or a.
You want me to give you a satellite image?
Hold on, brother. Can you hear me? My question is for Brother Yirmiyahu or anybody on the panel.
You want a satellite image?
Can you show somebody share their screen and show me a picture?
Listen. The earlier depictions were done by non-Israelites, bro. All right.
My question again. What is the earliest depiction of Jesus being crucified? What date?
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, bro? Like we're not arguing that, bro.
Like you're making irrelevant points that nobody arguing, bro. Like I've said it just before now.
Okay,
make the point. Go ahead. Just make the point.
Not a problem. I want you to notice now when I show you this don't have nothing to do with your question. But one thing is sure, that Rome did crucify.
Okay, we're gonna debunk that, but we'll get to that next. Now, okay, so the earliest
we took a Google search for this.
Okay, great, thank you. So
okay, yeah, I already know you have to know this. In the art,
it's bogus, brother. That's what he gonna say.
It was a man worshiping a donkey on a donkey that was crucified on the cross. Here, let's blow this up. For our audience to see this, because that's exactly what this is. See, there's
I can hear Brother Don. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're looking for? I'm asking.
What is the date on this? What is the date on this?
I don't know.
I need a date. I asked for a date.
BC. I mean,
I still don't understand the relevance, Rabbi.
Let's just say it don't exist, brother, and tell us.
Century CE. That's when this is when the depiction comes out.
Second century
CE. It's about 200 years after Christ. Common era, folks. Christian era. So you're right away. It does not.
Say it again. You're breaking up a little bit. Say it again.
Breaking up a bit, Don.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm understanding what Jeremiah on right now. I'm trying to see what the relevance of is this the New Testament being historical, Rabbi. Like I'm agreeing with you with a lot of your stance, but you going off and deviating from is the New Testament historical or not? See that's my thing right there. So we got to prove, and I'm with you. I'm 100% behind you. We got to prove to these people here, these goat herders, that the New Testament is not historical. You see what I'm saying? And so the crucifixion with the cross, not in there. So they got us on that one. Now, the only thing, we got a lot of other things we can say ain't historical. Can you pick another point?
Okay, can I respond to what he just showed from the second century?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, that's not Jesus. That's a horse. I asked you the earliest depiction of Jesus being crucified, not a horse from the second century. Jesus himself, not a parody or what they're claiming to be a insult to Jesus, what is the earliest depiction of Jesus being put on the cross? Not a horse. You showed me a horse.
Bro. Again, what's your point? Please get at the point, brother.
He don't have one, man. He just like
I do have a
hammering
point.
that
I have
in.
a point.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, well, can you go ahead and get to the point? We showed you the image you asked for from the 2nd century.
That's
all
not
right.
actual. That's not Jesus. That's a horse.
Okay, fine. You don't accept
whatever.
it, so just go on and make your point of the image not existing. You gonna do it, Rabbi?
Rabbi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. Well, I was waiting
Okay.
for Don to come back. Okay, Don, because Don didn't hear me. So, Don, my question is this: I didn't ask you for a horse being crucified. I asked you for the earliest image of Jesus being crucified.
Oh my
not
goodness!
a horse.
I mean, hey, Rabbi, do you hear me? Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, listen. We're asking you directly, bro. Can you make your point?
Yes, I'll make my point. Excuse me. I didn't mean to be rude. Yeah, I'll make my point. The earliest picture we have of Jesus being crucified on the cross, that's actually attributed to Jesus, is 440 AD. 440. That's over 400 years after the crucifixion. There's no pictures earlier than that of him being crucified before 440 AD.
Can you give us that?
No. Let's just say he's right, because I mean, this right.
Yeah,
I don't get the point. There's no point. It doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, that's why I want him to give us the source for it.
Yeah, Pope Celestine. It was on the Pope Celestine is when you had the first picture drawn of Jesus being crucified. The first picture we have,
slow down, brother.
Being crucified, is dated to 440 AD. 440.
Slow down. Pope who?
Pope Celestine.
Okay. I said earlier that the earliest pictures are done by heathen. So I'm still trying to get to your point.
That's not true, because the earliest picture we have of Jesus, just him standing.
He's talking
with
about the
apostles.
crucifixion. He was talking about the crucifixion,
Hold on, brother.
brother.
Let me finish.
This is a petty point. We want you to make your
we have of
overall
Jesus-
point, brother.
The first picture we have of Jesus with the apostles is dated to the 6th century, and he's black. So don't give me that game. Well, this was the Gentiles drawing this stuff, because the
That don't mean the
picture of
Gentiles
Jesus-
didn't know he was black. Come on, man. Can you just make your point?
All right.
We like sitting here. We gotta beg you to make a point. This is crazy.
Yeah, man. Because listen, man. Again, man, we're not Christians, bro. Like I don't understand. We Israelites, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. You know what you're saying, bro. Like you're not bringing us nothing that we don't already know. So we're trying to get to what your disagreement is, man.
Here's this picture of Jesus, right? Now since you bring this up, Rabbi, here's what we have. We got a man hung on a tree here with a noose around his neck. And we have this guy here on a cross. This is what you bring up. The issue here is what is written over this man's head. Now you calling this an early depiction because you went here and got this, as you stated, 400 years later. Unmute your mic. I want to ask you, just for the sake of argument, is this what you're referring to?
Of course, this is exactly as you can see. Scroll back up again. What does it say at the top of the picture? It says, wait for the catch up. The earliest depiction of the crucifix. That's the earliest depiction we have of the crucifixion is right in front of you. This is dated to 420 to 440 AD, 440 years after Jesus. Excuse me, over 400 years after him. This is the first picture. And 400 years later, really?
So what's your point? So what's your point?
Right.
I don't know if Don Burt want to read some of that, or I don't know if you had questions about that.
No, we don't care. We want to know what your point is. What does this prove?
Rabbi, are you there?
What is your point?
Yes.
Yeah. What does this prove? What is this image being made 400 years later? What does it prove?
Okay, so I have the list in my book of everybody who ever mentions Jesus. Hegesippus, too late in the game, not eyewitness. Clement of Alexandria, too late in the game, wasn't eyewitness. Theologian, Hippolytus, Irenaeus, Origen, Cyprian of Carthage, Eusebius, and Tacitus. Those are all the people who mentioned.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you all that, brother. I asked you what was the point about the picture. What does the picture being the first depiction of a crucifixion 400 years later, what does that prove, brother? What is your point in bringing that up?
Okay, excuse me. What that proves is that there was something called the Council of Nicaea under Constantine and Eusebius. What this proves is that the crucifixion story and narrative was made up in the 300s, and that's why we don't have any pictures of being crucified.
We got Josephus in the 1st century, brother.
What are you talking about, bro?
So this
we got Josephus in the 1st century. Hold on. We got Josephus in the 1st century. We have manuscripts from Mark that date to the 1st century BCE. We got what's the guy's name? Matter of fact, I got it right here on my thing. I don't got to necessarily pull up, but I can read it. Like I brought up that's not
now
him.
Put it on the screen, James. Put it on the screen. We gonna source up here at the source, man. Like, you got to cut it out, bro.
Because this brother just be saying
that man
stuff,
said
man.
Jesus Christ was just totally made up in 300 AD.
Just on a side note, Judas isn't at Jesus' crucifixion.
Right.
Just, and this, folks, I want to explain this to the audience. This is someone's rendition after reading the Bible, the biblical account.
Right.
Just going to read. Now, this is Rabbi Lewis's source. All right. This is a small ivory panel which dates to 420 to 430 AD. This is the earliest portrait of the crucifixion in a narrative context. In a narrative context. Here's my version of what Jesus looks like to me 400 years later in this whole scene. And I'm gonna stick Judas in there. That's Mary, and Joseph wasn't even at Jesus' crucifixion, but he's here in this ivory portrait. And there's the soldier. I guess that's a dagger, but he would have had a spear, not a dagger. A spear, not a dagger. This is someone's rendition of reading the biblical narrative. But this isn't the actual depiction. It's just someone's artsy, fancy art carving. Here, Jesus gazes impassively past the viewer, flanked by Mary and John and Longinus, and the Roman centurion who pierced his side, John 19:34, later exclaiming, truly this man was the Son of God. Now, Rabbi, I'm going to say this, I'm going to pass the mic to James. The depiction is quoting John 19:34. This is actually more proof that Jesus was historical. Actually helps us more than it helps you.
All right, let me go on.
Kill shot.
Let me go and share my screen right here, man. This is from a debate I did not too long ago, but sourced up, so we got to get them sources. Right here, the New Testament has only 40 lines that's unresolved by textual criticism. That makes it 99.5% accurate to the original that was written. And this is from a general introduction to the Bible on page 475. The 4 early church fathers document that the New Testament was written in this order. And this is before the Council of Nicaea. So these things was already down according to them. And everybody I'm quoting before the Council of Nicaea. Matthew wrote the gospel amongst the Jews in their own tongue, while Paul and Peter were in Rome. Mark, the disciple of Peter, handed us the preaching of Peter. Luke, a follower of Paul, set forth the gospel. And later, John, the disciple, wrote one in Ephesus. And it's from St. Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyon. And that was in 130. And he lived between 130 and 202 AD. And he was a follower of Polycarp. Then you got Clement of Alexandria, who said it before that. You have Papias, and you have Tertullian. All these people are Christians.
That's right.
All these people are Christians.
Right.
Followers of Christ before the Council of Nicaea. So you can't come with a Council of Nicaea crucifixion argument, brother. That's weak.
And then these
go
are
ahead.
Greek fathers. That's the kick part, James. You know what I'm saying? These are the anti-Nicene church fathers.
Yeah, before the Nicene Council.
You see, at least 150 years prior to Constantine, which was roughly about 302 AD.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an argument you're making, Rabbi. That's a bad historical reference, what you're giving us. It's unhistorical. By all accounts. James is right.
Okay, can I respond?
Have some fun.
I have a lot to say. Before I headshot the crucifixion, so he brings up a myriad of people who are not contemporary. Give me one person who lived during the time of Jesus, not 50 years later, 70 years later, with church apologists. Show me one.
Hold up. Before you try to put some burden of proof on us, you made a bold statement about Constantine, brother. All right, and the man just refuted you. You just gonna totally ignore what the man just brought. He saw stuff on you, and you just gonna totally ignore what that man just brought, man.
Okay,
you made a bold statement,
let me
brother.
Let me deal with that. So, can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you read Julian Dole's work, you would know that when it says the historians say that what. Let me ask you guys. See what you guys know.
Is Julian Dole a scholar?
Hold on. Let me finish, brother. How did Constantine know about the cross? Let me ask you that.
I'm not going to answer that because I want to know if Julian Dole, because you're quoting him as if he's some type of PhD historian or something. Julian Dole is British.
Before you make an appeal to authority.
No. An appeal to authority is only an appeal to authority if they're not an authority in the field of mention. Not if they are.
Hold on.
You are supposed to appeal to people who are authorities in that field.
Brother, how did Constantine learn about the cross? Let me ask you that.
He learned about it probably from reading the writings of the anti-Nicene early church fathers.
No. How did he learn about the cross?
Look, you keep saying this is bogus, and no, it's not proof. It don't negate nothing I'm saying.
Okay,
it just makes you look foolish. Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. It just makes you look foolish because I bring up source after source after source and hit you with them, and all you can say is no, and then bring up a British filmmaker,
right,
and try to ride him off like he a PhD.
Okay, hold on. Let me respond to that again. Hold on. Again, I need somebody, just one apologist, scholar, church father who was contemporary with Jesus, who mentions him by name. Give me one.
John the Elder. Okay, hold up. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm sharing my screen. Y'all can see this right.
Yeah, lived during the same time as him. And
brother, let me speak.
Yeah,
Papias of Hierapolis, a contemporary of John, says he heard the teachings of John the Elder, saying disciples Ariston and John the Elder were in his day. So he wrote. Wait a minute. He wrote down a first-hand eyewitness account.
He's not contemporary. He's 70 AD.
John the Elder died. John the Elder is the person who Jesus told on the cross to take care of Mary.
Dude,
take care of his mother.
Hold on. You're not quoting him. You're not quoting John. You're quoting Papias of Hierapolis.
He quotes him. That's my point. He quotes him. He writes down a first-hand eyewitness account. Guess what happens when you go to the police station, right? And they tell you to have an eyewitness account or talk to them. They either write it down or you write it down, then someone signs off on it saying, yes, this is what it is, right? That's pretty much what just happened here. He told him everything. The man wrote up and signed off on the say, this is what that man told me. And eyewitness told
Papias is too late in the game.
John the Elder is not too late in the game. John the Elder is the person.
First of all, Papias was born in 70 AD. He died in 163, so he probably started.
Was John the Elder a contemporary of Jesus Christ? And did he walk with Jesus? Yes or no?
Show me that. Show that. Pull it up on the screen.
Okay. You don't know. Okay, this is where pure ignorance is being shown, because he don't even understand that John the Elder is the man who Jesus, when he was on the cross, told to take care of his mother.
Quick question, family. Quick question. Shalom to the panel. Rabbi Lewis, have you presented one source in this dialogue?
Of course. So let me say this real quick. Philo of Alexandria, contemporary, doesn't mention Jesus by name. You got background noise.
So what source did you bring to the table, brother?
You saw mute your mic real quick. You got background noise. I responded.
What source did you bring to the table?
I brought Julian Dole's work crucifixion doodle and a couple other sources. So,
hold on.
You brought
Julian Dole's, that's your source?
That's his
You
source.
brought who? Julian Dole's is an
Dole.
author. That's not a source. What source did you bring?
okay, mute your mic real quick and I respond. So
That's an author. Okay.
hold on. So again, hold on. Papias, he quotes Papias. Papias is not
I'm
contemporary.
gonna ask you again because we're not gonna do this.
Oh my God.
You already know I know about you. I'm just letting my brothers get to know about you. You know I don't play no games with you at all. So I'm gonna ask you again, brother. What sources? I didn't ask about no authors. What sources did you bring to this conversation?
What sources? What do you mean sources?
So let me explain y'all something about this idiot right here. Okay, so this dude don't never ever have a source to back up nothing he says. And the sources that he do like to come with is his own magazines, his own pamphlets. Okay. None of that is credible here at the source. Okay. None of it. All right. So what you need to do is regroup, get yourself together, and get you some sources. Right?
Yeah, man. Listen, man, because let me say this real quick, Rabbi Lewis, and I'll give it right to you. Real quick. The brother, man, shout out to the shout out to the Scholastic Killmonger, man. He ain't playing no games tonight, man. The man has brought multiple sources for certain statements that you made, and giving you somebody writing down an eyewitness, the eyewitness account, first-hand account. He written down the words that he said, which you said did not exist prior to Constantine. Now, I want to know if you're going to be scholastically honest, unless you can refute that the claim you made about there's no writings of Christ prior to Constantine, are you going to be scholastically honest and say you was wrong about that?
Okay, can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, please give me an opportunity to respond. So again, he brings up Papias. So please don't cut me off. He brings up Papias, who's not contemporary. Then he brings up somebody who was that he wrote about. That's not evidence. I need empirical data. I need an eyewitness account. Now let me finish. Philo of Alexandria, for example, eyewitness, never mentions Jesus, lived at the same time. Seneca the Younger, eyewitness, lived at the same time, never mentioned. Lucius Annius Seneca, would have mentioned him, did mention contemporary. Galileo, 65, never mentions this guy. Let's keep going. Jewish historian Justus of Tiberias, contemporary, never mentions this guy. Nicholas of Damascus, contemporary, never mentions this guy. Pausanias, contemporary, never mentions Jesus. Alaeus Aristodes, never mentions Jesus. Marcus Cornelius Fronto, another contemporary scholar, never mentions Jesus. Maximum of Tyre, never mentions Jesus. Prove? I could keep going. Athenaeus of Narcolius, never mentions Jesus. Lucius Flavius from Philadelphia, never mentions Jesus. Apollonius of Tyana, never mentions.
What does that prove, brother? Look, it's gonna be a bunch of people that live during the same time that I live that don't know who the hell I am.
No, right. Let me ask you this real quick, Rabbi. You say you wrote 30 books, right?
Correct.
In any of those books, did you make mention of LeBron James?
No.
Does that mean LeBron doesn't exist?
Let me respond to that. That's the storming argument. The fact of the matter is, these are all academics, apologists, and church fathers of their day.
I'm just asking, brother. I'm sure.
They weren't Christians. Please let me to finish. All of these people that I just mentioned were academic scholars and academics, apologists, and church fathers who, if Jesus existed, they certainly would have wrote about him if he was that big of a deal in the first century. None of these people mentioned this guy. And I'm talking about over 20 contemporaries writers.
Do you know how many
never mentioned this guy,
leaders?
who never mentions him as an historical person? All these people you have that mentions this guy are people who lived 50 to 300 years later. Not one contemporary source.
John the Elder is contemporary. Like, you can sit here and cry about it all you want. You can sit here and
Josephus, he's not an eyewitness. Hold on, let me finish. Tacitus. Hold on, let me finish.
You went through your list, bro. Hold
no,
up.
That's people who did mention them. Let's
you're not like what we do here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing up the source, showing it so the whole world can see it. I understand you can sit here and say a lot of people didn't mention certain people. If you go to certain regions of the world, they're not gonna hear about things going on in other regions of the world.
These are people who lived in the region who were writers.
This is called an argument.
Hold on, brother. These are people.
Hey, ain't I in the middle of talking?
Let's one at a time, brothers.
Let them finish, and then you can respond, Rabbi. Yeah. Let them finish.
Again, this is called an argument from silence. All right, unless you have some evidence that shows that these people, without a shadow of a doubt, should be talking about Jesus because they should have come in contact with him and his followers during the time of his life when he was only in Judea, never went anywhere but Judea, then you need to present that evidence, or else you're not making a point. You're just making an argument from silence just because someone didn't mention him, therefore he didn't exist. That's ridiculous.
Okay, again, I don't have time to read the whole book. It's in my book, one of my books. I do give you evidence of the fact. I gave everybody I list. I give their bio, their biography, who they were, and how they were relevant to at that time to have mentioned Jesus of Nazareth, or we want to call him Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. Excuse me. So all the people that I named, which is I just give you 10 different names. I got more. Never mentioned this guy, and they're all contemporary. The only people who mention this guy are people who lived 50 to 300 years after he died. None of them are contemporary. Let's give you some.
Right.
Hold on.
So then why don't the modern scholars... Go ahead. You can read some. Go ahead.
Now, Dallius, Lucian, Suetonius, Pliny the Younger, Marabat Sarpion, Phlegon, Justin Martyr, Clement of Rome, Polycarp, Bishop of Origen, Cyprian, Eusebius, Tertullian, Ignatius, and Hippolytus of Rome. These are all the people. This is everybody who ever mentions Jesus. I just gave you all 10 of them, 11 of them. Not one lived during the time of Jesus. All of these people that I just listed lived from 50 to 300 years after he died, allegedly died.
But he believed in Jesus. He was a disciple of the one who was called Apostle John the Apostle. That's Polycarp, one of the persons that you mentioned.
Polycarp is now the eyewitness.
He believed.
Polycarp. Rabbi, let him finish, Rabbi. Let him finish.
Okay, Polycarp believed in Jesus, so did Ignatius, and so did all these other disciples of the apostles. Now we're getting somewhere. That's what I find interesting. And another thing, now you say you converted to Islam.
That's correct.
Right. Your Quran talks about Jesus, doesn't it?
Say it again, Don. He was speaking.
The Quran talks about Jesus, doesn't it?
The Quran?
Yes. Here.
Yes.
Let me show you.
Of course it talks about Jesus. It does.
So why are you trying to act like you're not a historical person if your Quran mentions it?
Okay, I can explain that, but I'll let you finish.
All right, here's the Quran, because we believe in sourcing up around here. Since you read Arabic, right?
Yes. Not fluent, I'm intermediate. I'm not fluent, intermediate.
That's fine. Because Isa, son of Mary, and we brought Jesus, son of Mary, evident proofs, and we aided him with the Holy Spirit, and had Allah willed, those who succeeded them would not have fought one another after the evident proofs had come to them, but they disputed, as we read in John. For some of them attained faith, and some of them denied. For had Allah willed, they would not have fought one another, but Allah does what he wants. Fidal Solomon Bridges translation.
Okay, can I respond?
Yes. Well, like for you to explain to us how these two different versions are both talking about historical Jesus.
Sure.
Some 600 some years after Jesus.
Right.
300 years after Constantine. And all these people that you talked about that lived and existed in the 1st and 2nd century talking about Jesus. And how do you say to us, all these folks, there's no historical proof?
Okay. Okay, great. So I respond to that. There was an historical man named Yeshua who was a prophet. I agree with that. But did he resurrect? Did he got crucified? No. those stories that were attributed to him were bogus. Now let me respond to what you
Why
said.
are you arguing with me, bro?
Hold on, let me to respond to what you said. So, in the Quran, Allah Azawajal asked Jesus of Nazareth, Yeshua, did you tell them to worship you and Mary as a God beside me? Because that's shirk, right? And Jesus says, no, Allah, Yallah, Udbillah. I would never tell them to worship anything but you, Allah. Allahu Akbar. So in the Quran, Jesus denies that he's a subject of worship, and he denied that his mother Mary was the subject of worship. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So in the Holy Quran, Jesus denies his divinity because Allah asked him, did you tell them to worship you and Mary as gods besides me? He said, Udbillah, God forbid, Allah forbid.
Wait.
I never told him that. I told him to do what exactly you told me to tell him to do. Because I don't know what's in your heart.
Where's that source? Where's the
surah?
Yes.
I'll get that. Now let me make my last statement, then I'll get that. So there's a book called The Gospel of Barnabas, which was written by Barnabas, the Apostle Paul, who's a contemporary of Paul, and they took it out the canon at the Council of Nicaea. But in Barnabas, Jesus actually says, I have the quote, he took his arms to smite the ground and said, "Cursed be anyone who answers to my saying I'm the Son of God." So he denied being the Son of God. Also, he denied the crucifixion. He said, I will remain in that infamy of crucifixion until Muhammad comes. So not only in Barnabas does Jesus mention Muhammad by name, only does he say he was not the Son of God. He also goes on to say that people will believe he was crucified on the cross until Muhammad would come and tell the people that he never was crucified. Checkmate.
Okay, you just made about 4 claims. You have substantiated absolutely none of them. You know, it sounds good, but you are here to try to shoot holes in our walls. And so far, we're patching up everything you throw at us. But everything we hit you with, you don't come back with. This little cat mouse.
Let's go to Surah Al-Ma'idah.
A little while, but I want to
go to Surah Al-Ma'idah. Surah Al-Ma'idah. Yeah,
show
us the in the Quran where Jesus denies his divinity.
Hold on. Show us the surah.
Surah Al-Ma'idah
denies his own divinity. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah, go to Surah Al-Ma'idah, verses ayat 115 to 116. That's Surah 5. If you don't know Arabic,
in the Quran.
We're in the Holy Quran. Surah Al-Ma'idah, which is Surah 5, 115 to 118. And pull it up on the screen so we can see it.
Right. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5. I'm sorry. You said 115?
Surah Al-Ma'idah, which is Surah 5, ayat number 115 to 120. Just go through the whole thing. Pull it up on the screen so we can see it. Inshallah.
Right. Let me pull it up.
It's not there, Don.
Oh, you already on it.
I know this dude. It's not there.
So it certainly is there.
You're about to find out. You're wasting your time right now, bro.
Please don't insult me. Please don't insult me.
It's there. Now you said
no, it's not an insult. I don't insult nobody. I tell the truth about you people.
All right, bro. Don't insult me, please. And second,
I already told you. I tell the truth about you people. I don't have to insult you.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayat 115 to 120. Pull it up on the screen.
Okay, let's see if we have a 115 in this surah. There's no 115 in this surah.
It certainly is. The Surah Al-Ma'idah, again, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verses 115.
Let's see, because you and really be honest with you, you ought to be pulling this up.
Right.
To be honest with you.
We put
our own sources around here.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah 5, 116, 114 to 120.
Boy, ignored everything you said.
Yeah, I know it. I already know. It's.
If you could pull it up on the screen so we can see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen so we can see it.
Right.
Right. So we want what verse?
Okay, Surah Al-Ma'idah, go down to 115 to 120.
You sure you want to read that?
Yeah, he wants to read this one, James. Okay, folks, we're gonna
play at 115.
Yep, that's where he's starting at. I told you.
I mean, folks, get this firebomb ready. James, would you do us the honor?
Oh, you want me to go? All right, let me start at 15 then. Man, I can't believe
now,
this.
I want to make sure I can blow it up some if you can't see it that good. Now, this is what you pull for us out of Surah Almighty.
Right.
This is 5 or 15. This, you know, I just don't want to be the one to do it.
I'm gonna mute out real quick, bro.
Oh my God. Allah answered and said, I am sending it down to you. But whoever among you denies afterwards will be subject to a torment I have never inflicted on any one of my creation.
Oh man, read 16.
And on Judgment Day, Allah will say, "O Jesus, son of Mary, did you ever ask the people to worship you?" This is what Allah is going to say on Judgment Day. And your mother as God besides Allah? And what he's going to answer, what Jesus is going to say is, glory be to you. How could I ever say what I had no right to say? If I had said such a thing, you would have certainly known it. When? Before or after? You know what is hidden within me, but I do not know what is within you. Indeed, you alone are the knower of all unseen.
Go. So, Allah, again, actually, we just read it. So, as you can see, what I said was accurate.
Okay, we ain't through. He goes on to iterate. I have never told them anything except what you ordered me to say. Worship Allah, my Lord and your God. And I was witness over them as long as I remained among them. But when you took me, you were the witness over them, and you are a witness over all things. Then he goes on to say, if you punish them, they belong to you after all. But if you forgive them, you are surely the Almighty, all-wise.
Hey, let me slide this one in, dog. Let me get this one in real quick.
Come on.
We read his. Let me go to this one right here. We in Surah Al Imran, right?
Yeah.
3:45. It says, and mention when the angel said, "O Mary, indeed Allah gives you good tidings of a word from him, whose name will be the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Mary, distinguished in this world and the hereafter, and among those brought near to Allah." Brother, they just declared him the Messiah, brother. Hey, somebody sit this man down. He don't even know what Allah got to say about it.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Now,
and I read it over and over again where it called him God. I sent you. In your Quran, it's saying that Allah sent his son. He said it. Allah said it out of his own mouth. I sent you.
Not the prophet. Not the prophet, but he sent Yeshua.
Hey, and he reigns in the hereafter too. Come on, man.
You don't get. You just don't get any more clear proof from the Quran outside of that. Your Quran is talking about Jesus, Rabbi. Do you hear that? In several places in the Quran. Do you also want to convert to atheism now, I wonder? I mean, you left GMS, you went to Islam, and now you're saying Islam is also a fraud. Are you willing to stand behind that statement?
Allah forbid. May Allah.
Allah forbid. Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah.
So, all right, I'll let you finish and I'll respond.
You got the floor, bro.
Okay, so that's how ignorant this is. Like, it says Messiah. It says Messiah. Okay, that's ignorant. Because if you go to the book of Obadiah, It tells you in Obadiah. It's only one chapter. Only one chapter to it.
Hold on. Obadiah what? Let's hurry. Look, I got my hands ready. Obadiah what?
Obadiah chapter 1. Let me get the verse. The verse 18. I believe it is.
There's only one book in the Obadiah. One chapter. Verse 18?
I believe it's verse 18, where it says saviors in plural will come. It says saviors in plural. We look at that.
At verse.
Oh, it says savior, Lewis. It says savior. So that's got to be Jesus, right? Because Jesus is the savior, right? He's in our savior. Does it have to be? Let's look at it. Retarded.
It's on the screen.
Also on the screen? I don't see it.
It's on the screen. Obadiah.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Let me stop share and reshare.
I see it, Brian. I see it.
Everybody's okay. Let's get back to it then. Let's get back to work, folks. Right. Shout out to the audience back there who are they're thrilled. They're having a ball right now. I want to thank you.
Yeah, Obadiah chapter 1, 19 through 20. The point's in 21, but start at verse 19.
Let's just get right to the point. How about that?
Okay, go ahead.
And saviors shall come up from Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
Okay, so if you're a New Testament junkie, every time you see the word savior, you think Jesus. Okay, it says savior, God, Jesus, my Lord and Savior. So no, this is talking about the Maccabees, because if you look at the history of the Apocrypha, once you took out the Bible, there was a group of zealot Jews called the Maccabees who subdued the Edomites and forced them to convert, which is in verse Josephus as well. So Obadiah verse 121, it says, and saviors in plural shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. When it says saviors in plural, it's talking about the Maccabees. So the Maccabees were considered saviors. So every time you see the word savior or Messiah, it's not always talking about Jesus or it's one singular man God. This savior.
So is the Maccabees a group of people, or is it one person?
The Maccabees were the Hasmonean dynasty under Judas Maccabeus and John Hyrcanus.
So it was just one person.
Jesus was the Messiah, man.
Wow.
So my point is, for those who maybe New Testament junkies don't understand the Old Testament, it says saviors here in plural. So people say, well, that has to be Jesus because Jesus is my Lord and Savior. No, this is talking about the Maccabees who fulfilled this prophecy in the Apocrypha. So every time we see saviors and Messiah, the word thrown around doesn't always mean Jesus or just Jesus. So,
but it did in the Quran though.
Let me respond to that. So you're looking at English and it says saviors, all right? So automatically you instinctively say, well, if it's saviors and it ain't Jesus, it must be the Maccabees, right? But anybody who have read the Maccabees know the account. They weren't saviors. It's not what they were. In the Hebrew, the word is Yasha. 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 Some say Yeshua. It is a verb. It is not a noun. Yasha denotes action. Action. That is not a noun. Maccabees would be noun. This would be noun, but the Hebrew word Yasha, it translates to our word savior, or one who saves, not plural. It's not plural. The word is a verb. So in the Hebrew text, you can see, and I'll play it.
Psalms 8:34-67. Yasha. Yasha.
The word literally translates not to savior, but saved. And that right there, folks, is how you kill that argument.
Okay, let me respond to that. That's nonsense. Let's go to Acts chapter 7 real quick. Let me checkmate that. Let's go to Acts 7 chapter. Let me get the verse. Hold on. Let's checkmate that.
Okay, Acts chapter 7 now. We'll go there. We'll
Acts chapter 7, I think it's verse 45. Hold on, let me get it real quick.
Verse 45. We'll go there.
Yeah, 44 to 45. Let's checkmate that.
All right.
Headshot. Go to Acts 7, 44 through 45.
All right. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen.
Which also point, verse 45.
Okay. Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles.
God. So it says Jesus, but this is not talking about Jesus of Nazareth. This is talking about Joshua, the son of Nun, the successor of Moses. It calls him Jesus in the New Testament. But if you look up that word then in the context of this Acts 7, this is talking about Joshua, the son of Nun, who is also in Greek, his name is translated as Jesus. So what I'm saying is every time you see Jesus in the Old New Testament, it's not even talking about Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah. This is talking about Joshua, the son of Nun, but in Greek, the word Joshua is translated as Jesus. So Jesus was a common name in the first place, and Joshua was also named Jesus. Check me.
The context of this is what? What is the backdrop of this?
Okay, so Acts 7 is about, if you go down, it's about Stephen. He had a vision seeing how Esau. This is when you go later, he's talking about the actual Jesus. But if you go up, this is talking about events that were happening during the time of Moses in the wilderness. So when it calls in Acts 45, when it says, which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus, if you look at this up, this is not talking about Jesus of Nazareth. It's talking about Joshua, the son of Nun. So that's checking. Joshua or Jesus was a common name. Sirach had a son named Jesus. Joshua ben Nun is known as Jesus. There was multiple Jesus in the first century. This was a common name. This is not a unique name. This is not a special ordained God-given name. There was multiple Yeshuas in the first century, probably over 1,000. Check.
So you saying that Joshua brought the tabernacle of witness to the Gentiles?
Yes, in verse 45, when it says Jesus. In fact, let's prove that. Let's go to, because we're in the KJV, so let's look this up to prove that this is Joshua son of Nun. Let's prove that. Let's prove Joshua son of Nun.
The Gentile.
Huh?
Yeah, show us that.
Yeah, let's prove that this is Joshua son of Nun, not JC.
And here's another question. I would like for you to also show us how Joshua is going to bring something to the Gentiles, and then God is going to turn around and drive these same Gentiles out before the face of our fathers. Today,
go to pull it up in the NLT. Acts 7:45 in the New Living. Then we're going to go down to verse 55, where you can see that this is not Jesus of Nazareth. You can see this is Joshua, but it says Joshua right there. You'll see it. If you can pull it up on the screen.
7:55 in the New Living.
Acts chapter 7:45 in the NLT, New Living Translation. Because when the KJ scribes translated this, they were speaking Old English and Greek, translated from Greek, so they just called him Jesus. But
yeah, okay,
Joshua. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So this is Acts 7:45, and I'll back up. Our ancestors carried the tabernacle with them through the wilderness. It was constructed according to the plan God has shown to Moses. This is true. Moses made the ark and the tabernacle after the pattern that God shows them in the mountain. Years later, when Joshua led our ancestors.
When who?
Years later, when Joshua led our ancestors in battle against the nations that God drove out of this land, the tabernacle was taken with them into their new territory, and it stayed there until the time of King David.
Okay, so notice I talk about JC because King David lived thousands before JC. So how could it say it stayed there to the time of David when Jesus lived thousands after David? So that proves it's talking about Joshua, son of Nun, not Jesus. Check me.
And your point is what?
My point is this again. This you know, this is JC, not JC, because it says it stayed there to the time of King David. David lived thousands of years before JC. So you can't be talking about JC. It makes no sense.
Yeah, let me show you something. What's wrong with that argument?
Okay, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 1. I want you to notice this, okay? And don't forget this. See this? Matthew 8:1-18. And I'm going back to my King James. So I'm going back to the Textus Receptus. See this word Jesus? See that? Iosus or Jesus.
Strong's G 2424. Jesus. Jesus.
Let me walk the dog with you and show you right now where you go wrong at this type of stuff. You may study Arabic, but I don't think you study much about Greek or Hebrew. Jesus. That is the Latin of Jesus. Proper masculine noun. Where does it come from? Jesus, where does it come from? Watch. Yeshua.
Strong's H3091. Yehoshua. Yehoshua.
Yehoshua.
And second entry. Yehoshua.
Now, this is a construct.
Yehoshua.
Yehoshua. This is a construct of the, here it is, the Yud, the Hey, and the, I almost forgot how to spell it. The Yud Hey Vav Hey. YHVH. Yud Hey Vav Hey. So that's Yud Hey Vav Hey. That's the Tetragrammaton. And what is this word right here? This word is Yashai. You see it? You see it? Come on, Rabbi.
Yes,
Lewis.
yes.
Talk to me. And who is that? Yasha. Yasha. That went over your head, didn't it? Let me slow it down. I'll bring it back to you.
I heard everything you said. Let me respond to that.
So what was your argument again?
My argument was that Acts 7 says calls Joshua Jesus because Jesus was a common name. I'm just saying it was a common name in the first century and amongst the Israelite people. Joshua or Yeshua was not a divine name. It was a common name.
Incorrect. It is an office.
He act like it's a divine name by giving it a
Savior. A deliverer. And name is authority. Authority. The word is O-N-O-M-A in the Greek, S-H-E-M, Shem in the Hebrew. That is an office. And that's what the Quran says, that God, Allah, sent Jesus to be a Yasha, to save his people, to deliver his people. That is an office. That's what you read out of Obadiah, isn't it? Same word. The difference is, unlike Joshua, Jesus is the Yud Hey Vav Hey Savior. Joshua was the Adam Savior. You understand that? Comprende?
Right, okay.
Yeah, okay. So when you say there was no Jesus, I want you to understand you're saying the very thing we started with, blasphemy. That is actually blasphemy. You're trying to stone this man till he dies. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, funny you say that to respond to that. Because if you read the original Talmud that was untampered with, it tells you that Jesus was stoned to death. He actually died. He was stoned to death. Then his dead body was put up on the cross as a spectacle to all the Jews. So I'm just giving the headshot. Jesus really, how did he really die? He actually got stoned to death. So in the Talmud, I got the quote from the Talmud. He was stoned to death for blasphemy, and from there they hung his dead body up on the cross to show everybody, okay, this guy was a fraud. So he was not crucified on the cross. He was stoned to death. Then his dead body was put up on the cross. Let me finish. On the cross, according to the Bible, he was alive on the cross and died on the cross. According to the Talmud, he was stoned to death. Then his dead body was put up on the cross. Two different narratives.
Okay, you said, the original Talmud. Where is the source for Jesus being stoned to death first, and then throw it up on a star roll, a straight upright stake? Where's that in the Talmud? The mission.
Pull it up. Let's get it. Hold on. It's my book.
This ought to be good.
Let me see. Let me find my book. Which one is it? Okay, yeah, I know which one it is. Okay.
Mishnah.
So he did.
Yeah, I see my book. One of my books.
Hold on. Put up on a stake after he got stoned. So he didn't exist is out the window now, folks.
Did you have it post, James?
Did I have what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you had it pulled up.
Oh no, I was just saying that it seems to be out the window. His whole
okay, guys, you guys see me?
Jesus not existed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm quoting my book, Crucifix, Crucifixion, Fabrication. So it's $10 finally on Amazon. The saints of the synagogue succeeded in capturing Yeshua, who was then led before the great and little Sanhedrin, by whom he was condemned to be stoned to death, and his dead body was hung on a tree. Talmud. What possibilities could they have for making this mistake? Okay, this goes to, I don't want to go into the whole book, but
give us the quote from the Talmud.
Okay, hold on.
I think you mean Mishnah, don't you?
No, I've been to Talmud. I've been in the Mishnah. Now the Mishnah has interesting things in it as well, but so the point, the fact of the matter is, the way Jesus actually died historically, he was stoned to death for blasphemy, and because he claimed, he was making certain claims, he was stoned to death, and then his dead body was hung up on a tree. But he was already dead when he was hung on the tree. They already stoned him to death. But the Bible says he died on the cross and then resurrected. But the Talmud says he actually was stoned to death. That his dead body was put on display on the tree. Or the tree actually was as a spectacle to the Jews to say, don't follow this guy.
Okay,
so that's actually how he actually died in real life.
Where's that source, Rabbi?
Again, this is found in my book, Crucifixion, the History of Fabrication, and the source again is Julian Dole's work, Crucifixion of Doodle, which actually he inspired the book. So, okay,
is he a historian of Jewish antiquities?
He is. I'll pull up his credentials right now. I don't want to give the whole book away. If you want to read it, you can read it. But like I said,
he never read the whole book, family.
I have the whole book. I read the whole book.
I didn't say what you have. I said you didn't read the whole book. Listen, that's your problem. You don't listen. You don't comprehend what people say.
Okay. All right, I don't listen now. Okay.
Right.
All right.
The source. Where is the source?
This is in the Babylonian Sanhedrin Talmud.
You keep saying that. Give us the citation.
Yeah, it's actually in Julian Dole's work, Crucifixion to the actual. So I can't screen share. So, but if I could, I would. But anyway, so I want to address some other things too.
Dude, you don't.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah. So to address something he said earlier, quoting Matthew, and I yield my floor. I yield the floor. If I could say this, if that's okay, if I could say this.
Go ahead, bro. You got the floor.
Yeah, sure. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm flattered. I'm honored to be on the panel again. So. Saint Jerome, you know who Saint Jerome was, right?
Yeah.
He wrote the Latin Vulgate, right? You agree?
The Latin Fathers, What about him?
Yeah, so he actually said that the Matthew's lineage is fictitious, but that's Saint
Jerome told us that? Really?
Yeah, he said that the Matthew's lineage was fictitious.
Where?
That's a lie.
Where?
He don't have it. He just talking.
No, I got the quote from Jerome. Saint Jerome said that
you don't have it. You don't have it.
Lineages of Matthew. I had to pull it up. Let me get it.
Lineage of Matthew.
Matter of fact, when you pull it up, send the page number and the paragraph where it's at.
Good idea, Yashar.
Yeah, that's what you do. So I can prove to the family that you don't have shit. You ain't got nothing. You just talking. That's what you do. You're rhetoric master.
Yeah,
Mr. Preacher Rabbi.
It ought to be interesting. He gonna give us a quote from Saint Jerome, folks, saying, yes, Matthew's genealogy is just flubber. You can buy that at any local Walmart or Dollar Tree store. I mean, all day.
Why do you do this?
Excuse me. I'm not bad. I don't want to take up too much time. I got other people want to talk, so I can't find which book it's in one of my books. Let me see if I can find it here. I read over 30 books, so I'd have to find which book it's in. Hold on, I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, I think I found it. Hold
on. And by the way, folks, we're talking about commentary by Saint Jerome. Commentary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I found it.
Okay,
hello?
Send it to us.
Yeah, it was Saint Jerome. He wrote a letter to Titus, a guy named Titus. And in the letter, he said that the lineage of Jesus were fictitious in a writing that he wrote to this guy named Titus. And this is recorded by Professor Thompson, a scholar named Professor Thompson, who shows in his work that Jerome had sent letters to Titus saying that Jesus' lineage was fictitious. So, but let's prove that. If I could prove that.
Wait. Who is this quote by?
Titus.
And a university scholar named
Right.
his name was Professor Thompson.
That's what I thought you said.
But not
So you're not
himself.
Yeah, so the proof is lineage is fictitious. If I can respond to that, and I yield the floor. You know, it's in Matthew. It says that Jesus, Josiah begot Jeconiah. Go to First Chronicles. He doesn't have any sons named Jeconiah. It also says that Zerubbabel had a son named Abiud. Go to Chronicles. Zerubbabel didn't have any sons named Abiud. So the lineages are different. So they quote Zerubbabel having a son named Abiud. He didn't have any sons named Abiud in Chronicles. We go back in the Old Testament. He quotes Josiah had a son named Jeconiah. Josiah had no sons named Jeconiah. Just a few things. Tonight.
I didn't get.
He fast talking. He fast talking.
Argument. I mean, it was like, what are you saying? We have commentary on the book of Matthew, the Church Fathers, volume 117, translated by Thomas P. Sheck. And one of these persons that you're talking about, St. Jerome, he actually talks about the genealogy of Matthew. I quote.
St. Jerome said, and I quote, the lineages of Jesus were fictitious in the letter he wrote to a guy named Titus. Professor Thompson quotes this in his work, which I quoted to Professor Thompson.
Where is this quote?
This is in a book called what's it called? Let me get the book. Crucifixion the Truth by Tony Bushby. You ever heard of that?
A book you wrote?
No, this is Tony Bushby's work, Crucifixion of Truth by Tony Bushby.
And who is Tony Bushwick?
Tony Bushby is he's considered a French scholar, but he's well known in the New Age section of Barnes and Noble. Not, but seriously, he's wrote some really good books. He actually, I found him through Michael Tsarian's work. Michael Tsarian is like he's an act. He was like I know you guys know who Michael Tsarian is, right?
Man, let me get this straight, man. You have formulated your whole thesis based upon fringe work of people on the very edge of the community when it comes to scholarship. People
his name is Tony Bushby. He wrote a book called Crucifixing the Truth. Again, the cheapest you'll find the book is $100 because it's out of print. But I spent $90 on the book. I have the book in my library. I spent $90 for it on Amazon. I had to get it. And he wrote an excellent book called Crucifixion. He also wrote an excellent book called Bible Fraud by Tony Bushby. He's a renowned scholar, but his work is out of print, so you may not be able to find it for less than $100.
And you said he's British.
That don't make it right just because they charge you a lot for it.
And you're saying he's British?
No, his name was Tony Bushby. He wrote a book called Bible Fraud. He wrote another excellent book called Crucifixion of Truth, which is an excellent read. The best book you ever read on the crucifixion. He totally debunked the crucifixion in his book. It's stuff I didn't even get a chance to talk about yet, but he totally debunks crucifixion in his book.
Are any of these scholars of first century Judea?
I'm sorry, can you elaborate on what you're saying? I heard you, but what do you mean?
I mean,
a bunch of Johnny come lately.
I don't have to elaborate on that question. That question is very clear, very straightforward. Are any of the most scholars of first century Jewish history? Okay, are they scholars at all?
Yeah, Tony Bushby is a scholar. Yeah,
Tony Bushby.
Tony Bushby, TonyBushby. You may not be able to find his work because his work is out of print. So if you find it on Amazon, you're gonna be paying big money.
Okay, what college did Tony Bushby go to teach at, get his degree from?
Let me pull up. I had to pull up his bio. I have his bio in the book, but I'm not looking at it. But Tony Bushby wrote, like I said, wrote an excellent book called Crucifixion the Truth and Bible Fraud, which is the best books you ever read on Jesus. He totally debunked the crucifixion in his work. So,
okay, so what I have here is a little bit. He wrote about 9 books. I thought this might have been a little interesting share concerning Tony Bixby. He's not the kind of scholar you think he is.
His name is Tony Bushby.
Yes, Tony Bushby. Yes.
Yeah.
The one
pull it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Author of the Bible Fraud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible Fraud. He wrote another book called The Secrets in the Bible, Crucifixion the Truth, The Twin Deception. He wrote a couple of good books.
Yeah, he wrote 9 books. Here's a little bit about Tony Bixby. Interview with Tony Bushby, Bush Baked Beans, author of The Bible Fraud, by Peter Little, cover to cover. Here's what he says. Good morning, Peter. How are you today? Well, thanks, Tony. But let's get into this by asking, who is Tony Bushby? Well, Peter, I guess the simplest thing I can say is that I'm an Australian who has spent around 30 years of my life in publishing industry. And during that time, I researched and wrote quite a few high-quality specialist magazines for Australian and New Zealand markets. I'm sorry, nothing about the Bible.
Hey,
about theology.
Hey, Pro Rizzo, this is the person that wrote the greatest book ever written about the crucifixion.
Right.
Man, brother, this person, has he ever participated in any archaeological dig?
Nope.
You know anything about?
One thing I ever participated is selling beans in New Zealand. That's it.
That's about right. That's about right.
Now, watch what he says. Here's Peter Little.
Somebody said the book cost $22, not $100.
Oh wow!
No, I didn't. Hold on. No, I said the book Crucifixion of Truth, you're not gonna find it for less than $100. Now, Bible Fraud, you may be able to find for 20, 30 bucks, but I'm talking about Crucifixion of Truth, not Bible Fraud. So that's what I'm saying.
Yo, man, shout out to Elder Yara, man, here in the comment section, man.
Elder Yara
flex right now. Yeah, man, look, man, as of what I've seen, Brother Rabbi, man, bro, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what we trying to do here at the source, brother. But I have not seen one point you made validated as of yet. And the people that you're using to validate your mindset is a bunch of contemporary novice. Okay? You don't have nothing solid that you're standing on to validate why you're saying what you're saying about the New Testament. Okay? And it is quite obvious that you have just simply been tossed to and fro with every whim of doctrine, brother. That's why you have been in multiple schools of thought, brother. It's quite sad. You understand?
I can see where Rabbi is getting his information. And it appears. Here, let me read this and it'll become a little bit more clear. And we'll give you a little backdrop in this interview. He talked about the manuscripts division and how he was lucky enough to get into some of those, and also the rare manuscript divisions in the British Museum. This is talking about some of the church libraries around the world. He says they have a massive collection of old writings and old manuscripts, and also the Alexandrian Library in Egypt. They've got over 100,000 rare manuscripts in their vaults. Point one, manuscript history. Then he goes in to say, Peter asks, you can access those without much trouble? He says you can with the right approach. Yes, most certainly. Then he goes on to say, with the right connections, I suppose. Not so much connections. If you are a genuine, bona fide researcher, they will let you in.
That ain't him.
Point number two. Then he goes on to say, so what do you hope to accomplish with the book, Tony? Well, I seem to think that I've got onto some information that hasn't been freely available, Peter. And publishing this book provides for another side of the story. Another point, the origins of Christianity. And the story is a different story to that presented by the churches. So we have got out here a public record with this information available for people to add to or to do their own research Take it or leave it, whatever they like. Peter Little asks another important question. He says, having read the book, it would appear that the New Testament story of Jesus is, in your interpretation, a fabrication? Well, I have to say straight up, Peter, it's a forgery. After saying there's over 100,000 rare manuscripts in the vault. Another point. You don't mistake manuscript history. You don't mistake this, MSS, and translation. You don't mistake these two. Once you do that, you're in bizarro world with your own opinion. He just qualified that the New Testament, as well as the Old, there's over 100,000. I don't know where he get that word. I don't know where he gets that number from, but he's saying 100,000 rare manuscripts. Over 100 rare handwritten scripts. Then you turn around and say, well, the New Testament is a forgery. Of what?
Of what? Yeah, that's my question. Where is this story coming from?
From Really? Stupid stuff.
Yo, hey man, look. You know what's troubling, man, is that we gave the brother a grandiose opportunity to straighten us out, Pro Rizzo. He had a chance to really, show us the way, and prove that what we're following is a forgery, right? What we're following is, according to Brother Rabbi, is trash. And this says here, is the New Testament historical? I think we've proven, you and Brother James Castell have done an excellent job of proving historical validation.
But I'm still confused, Jeremiah. I'm trying to figure out, how the hell is a Muslim a rabbi? You know what I'm saying? Ain't supposed to be an imam or something?
Right. Yeah, it's quite confusing. And then you turn your back on your identity, which I know it's a multitude of things I disagree with GMS, but I know one thing. They taught you that you was an Israelite. And so you turn your back on your ancestors and your ancestral writings, which is the most beautiful writing in language on planet Earth, which is Hebrew. Okay. You rejected that and decided to follow the writings of Arabic and proclaimed that this was a part of your transition. Here at the source, we don't run from nothing, man. You understand me? And at the end of the day, an intelligent person can be honest. An honest person can say, if a question is asked, an honest person can say, hey, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I haven't verified that or validated that. We have to learn how to do that. We have to learn how to be more honest with ourselves and those that we are teaching, right? So if we do come across something that we're not familiar with, we make ourselves familiar with it. But after being in this so-called conscious community for the past 2 years, I haven't dealt with it before that, man. I was in my bubble. You understand? But after dealing with this, James, for this time, my faith is not shaken at all, brother. I believe that the Most High has I believe we on the right track, Pro Rizzo. I mean, history proves it, DNA proves it, chronography proves it, right?
Absolutely.
Archaeology proves it.
Even Tony Bushby proved it.
Right.
He had to go and see it for himself. He just comes back saying, I don't believe it. It's got to be made up and try to cherry pick it. But in this very article, in the interview, he actually corroborates the fact that the New Testament actually is authoritative. I don't know. Rabbi Lewis seems to be have fallen and hit his head on my dry erase board.
Yeah, I need Rabbi to come on back home, right? He's still holding on, if you notice, by calling himself Rabbi.
He's trying to hold on something.
You know, because the Bible tells us, Pro Rizzo, to hold on to what thou has learned from the beginning, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it also tells you don't be lukewarm because the Most High spew you out. You know what I mean?
Right. And also, he'll give you the spirit of reprobate, Romans chapter 1. Right? So what that does, family, is it messes with your mind and it causes you to be tossed to and fro. You understand? You're not solid. You have not sealed your foundation. You understand? And your research has to be able to plug. Man, listen, we have interacted with some of the greatest minds in America. And every inch of the Bible, I'm gonna be honest with you all, every inch of the Bible can't be validated. Some things require faith, you know, and brothers try to disprove your faith based upon things that can't be proven. But the things that can be proven is solid, boy. And the first century, it's a multitude of historical evidence concerning the first century that we can pull sources, firsthand, secondhand accounts, right? Eyewitness testimonies. I heard the brother was saying something earlier about eyewitness testimonies of people that doesn't validate Christ. Well, how could they be an eyewitness if they never seen him?
It's a straw man argument. Red herring.
You know, so like I asked him, you know, well, you know, you've written over 30 books, but you ain't never wrote about LeBron James. You understand? Does that mean he doesn't exist? Of course not. That means you're focused on your area of work and you're doing what you're doing. Like I'm sure those other people that you made mention of was doing themselves.
Well, just like DJ Black Music stated, would you pull that up on the screen for us? DJ Black Charm Music. Told I about for that, DJ. It's funny. He says, yeah, he just want to sell his book. That's a kill shot in the audience right there. That's about right.
So
the whole focus of this Shalom Maki, the whole focus of tonight's show was that was hilarious, man. You just want to sell your book. I'm gonna have to use that. I hope you don't mind, because I don't pay copyright.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. But one of the most powerful things is this right here. Come on back home, brother.
Yeah.
I mean,
come back. You know, you done went out too far in the water. Now you're gonna drown out there.
Yeah, man. So we got brother Jake the Great on, man. You got something you want to say, brother?
Actually, I do. So I've got this book. If you want the title of it, it's called The Encyclopedia of Lost and Rejected Scriptures. It's pseudepigrapha and it's apocrypha. Now, the author is Joseph B. Lumpkin. Now, he didn't create it. He just compiled all the books together. This person, Joseph B. Lumpkin. Now, in this, it's pretty much, it's an encyclopedia, as it says. And I actually have a part right here in the book where it says, I have letters of Herod and letters of Pontius Pilate talking about Jesus. So if he wants to talk about eyewitness accounts, there's 2 eyewitness accounts right here in this book. I can read, I'm just going to read, I guess, about 6 sentences. And if you guys want to look into it, correct me if this is a correct source. If it's not, then, somebody put it out there. Do you mind if I read?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this isn't the beginning. This is kind of like the introduction, background information. So it says, these letters connect Roman history with the death of Jesus at Jerusalem. 2 copies were found. The letters located in British Museum were written in Syriac and dated to the 6th or 7th century AD. Those located in Paris Museum are written in Greek. The letter of Herod to Pilate the governor gives us detailed overview of what befell Herod after the crucifixion of Christ. The letter written by Pilate, the governor of Judea, is in response to the letter written by to the letter written by Herod, in which Herod describes all the ills that have befallen him and his household since the crucifixion of Christ. Pilate speaks of many supernatural occurrences he himself has confirmed concerning the death and subsequent resurrection of Jesus.
That's interesting. So basically, he just compiled up the pseudepigraphical works, including the Book of the Giants, Manichaean literature known as Turfan, and some Aramaic copies of the Book of the Giants amongst the Dead Sea Scrolls. So basically, he just compiled up Jubilees, the Apocrypha, Damascus Doctrine, some parts of the visions of Daniel, Baruch, Enoch, the Book of the Watchers, the Gregory, Slavonic, Second Enoch, Sons of God, and Boundaries of, and there's some more books there, but so basically he just compiles up a bunch of the pseudepigraphal sources. Okay, that's cool. I guess so. Yeah, check it out.
I would recommend it. I don't know if you guys read the Apocrypha or not. I got it for the Apocrypha section, which is section 5. It contains 1st and 2nd Esdras, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Maccabees, the Epistle or Letter of Jeremiah, Prayer of Azariah, 1st Baruch, Prayer of Manasseh, Balaam the Dragon, Wisdom of Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, additions to Esther, Tobit, Judith, Susanna, Psalms 151, and then especially 1st Clement, Shepherd of Hermas, and the Didache or Didache, whatever you guys want to call it.
Didache or Didache.
Yeah. So that was really why I bought the whole encyclopedia. But the man was on here asking for eyewitness accounts, 2 eyewitness accounts at that, and you got Herod and Pontius Pilate.
Right. Powerful source, man. I want to pull something up real quick in 2nd Esdras. Pro Rizzo, if you can read this for me, man. This is it's talking about somebody. Right? I'm gonna share my screen.
What, 2nd Esdras 7?
No, 2nd Esdras chapter 2.
Oh. Let me get my 2nd Esdras.
What verse you on that?
I got the link if you want me to put it on the screen, but if you got it, I'll let you do it.
No, I just I'm having an ad blocker, so I have to take that off. Take the ad block off. For some reason they won't let me get into it.
That's all right. I got it on the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can read it. Go ahead.
All right. This is starting at the 42nd verse.
All right. Yeah, Prince, if you're out of the audience, we're still here, bro. You can still come back on. All right, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the mount Sion, a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So
whoever this man is, he was exalted, and he was able to put crowns on people's head. Does that sound a little bit familiar?
Yes, it does.
All right, go ahead.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he said unto me, These be they which have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal. That sounds like Corinthians.
Right.
And have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive songs. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and give them their palms in their hands? And so he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God.
Woo! Hold up, Progress. You're going too fast. You said it was a who?
It was the Son of God.
So this is clearly prior to the existence of the birth of Christ, prior to the birth of Christ, and they were waiting on the Son of God before Christ was born. You see that?
That's right.
Hold up, but I thought according to the Old Testament, no Old Testament believes that man could be the Son of God.
Isn't that interesting?
Right? Read on.
It is the Son of God whom they confessed in the world.
Right. So in our lives, we made a confession, Pro Rizzo.
Confessed. Let me talk
we
about
confessed that Jesus is the Christ, brother. Jesus is the Son of God. Mashiach Yahushua, Ba Shema Mashiach Yahushua, man.
Okay. Confess. Homo, meaning same. And this word, fess, logos. Logos. Homo and logos. It's actually homologeo. Homologeo. In the Greek text.
So the prophet Ezra, notice, the brother quoted from the Apocrypha earlier. That's why I pulled this script. He quoted from the Apocrypha, so that means he accepted the Apocrypha. So Ezra, the great prophet Ezra, talked about the Son of God.
Talked about him. Confessed him. That's what he did.
Right.
He confessed. And you know, that's funny because when we went to the Quran with Rabbi Lewis, he didn't want to confess.
Hold up. I just want to get these last two verses. I want to get your commentary.
Come on.
47.
So he answered and said unto him, it is the Son of God whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Hold up now. How did they stand, brother? How did they stand, Pro Rizzo? Right.
Stiffly. I guess that's like a piece of wood stuck in the ground and can't move with concrete around it.
Right.
It's like a steel beam. Or maybe it's like a rock, a mountain. It can't be moved. Stiffly. Right. I ain't going nowhere. I'm a doorpost. I'm a fence post. Stiffly. I'm a pillar. That's what Revelation said. I'm a pillar supporting the house of God.
Right. For the name of the Lord.
For the
then the angel said unto me, what did he tell you, Ezra? What did the angel tell you, Ezra? Go thy way and tell my people. That's why we standing strong and bold in these last days, man. We're going to tell the people. And we have to become more efficient and skilled at dealing with brothers who are so educated like our brother, Rabbi Lewis. Very intelligent brother, very educated brother.
That's right.
But we're going to stand bold, you understand me? And we're going to go and tell our people what manner of things and how great and wondrous of the Lord thy God thou hast seen. So I wanted to rebut that idea that there's no talking about the Son of God. Hold up, I got one more, if you don't mind. This is in Proverbs 30. Okay. What does it say here, brother Pro Rizzo?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Right there. Proverbs 30.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for you to load it up.
Yeah, so it says here, it seems like who was ever responsible for writing Proverbs, which I know was Solomon, okay?
Right.
He said something about the Son of God. Now, this is very strange to me, like as if this concept did not exist in the Old Testament. But I'm here to tell you, family, it definitely did.
One of my favorites.
I'm starting at the 4th verse.
All right, this is Proverbs 30 and verse 4. Listen. Who hath ascended up into heaven? Or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? What is his name?
Right.
What is his son's name? If you can. So
see that?
We're talking about somebody who went up to heaven and came down from heaven. Wow.
Now, this is important, Pro Rizzo. You know why?
Talk to me.
Because what people do is they read Proverbs. I'm talking about Old Testament believers. They read Proverbs and they say, oh, what is his son's name? That's talking about Israel, right? I say, okay. Who is this being talked about giving crowns out to the people in Ezra, though? Who's this guy?
Okay, can I respond to that? My phone's dying, so I want to make sure I respond to that.
You want to respond to what, brother? We've said a lot.
Bro, Ezra's, and when was it written? Pull it up.
That was in the second Esdras.
Who wrote that? Prove Ezra's wrote it and give me a source. Second thing, how could this be Jesus? Oh, he's tolling everybody. He's giving out crowns. Have you read Josephus' work? According to Josephus, Jesus was a hunchback and a dwarf. And the Bible says the hunchback and the dwarf cannot be a priest. So he's the priest at the order of Melchizedek. That's bogus because he was a hunchback and a dwarf.
There's 3 different Jesuses in Josephus.
He couldn't have been taller than everybody because Josephus tells he was a hunchback and a dwarf. So how is he taller than everybody, handing out crowns when he was a hunchback and a dwarf himself?
Jesus is only mentioned in Josephus in references to his brother. There's no other credible mention to Jesus of Nazareth in anywhere in Josephus. He
tells you that Josephus says
there was a priest named Jesus. Hold up, brother. I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
There is at least 3 people, different people lived at different time periods, named Jesus, written in Josephus. So you must be mentioning a different one because only one has been validated to be Christian, and that's the mention of James, the brother of Jesus, who was called Christ.
Which doesn't help your case, but the fact of the matter is Jesus himself was a hunchback and a dwarf. He was not
Where
tall.
does Josephus say that? Can you pull it up? Go ahead. You pull up Josephus where he says that Jesus of Nazareth was a hunchback and a dwarf.
The hunchback, I know the name.
Stop reading these pseudo scholars and their work and actually go and read what they claim to be quoting.
Right.
So the Most High sent his son, and he couldn't even enter his own temple.
Right. Come on, man.
And does the Quran say?
And also your Quran says,
"Come on." He couldn't go ahead. He didn't have permission to do that.
Yeah, and the Quran acknowledges him. So the Quran is acknowledging a hunchback and a dwarf.
The law says you can't. If you're a hunchback or a dwarf, you cannot be.
Where does Josephus say that, brother? I'm still waiting on that quote.
Yeah, I got it right here.
What book?
I got it right here. Hold on.
All right, what book?
Hold on, let me find it.
Hey, that other brother was right about this guy. He's an entertaining guy. I can tell you that. This Rabbi Lewis is an entertaining guy.
Right, fascinating. Oh yeah, we're still looking for that source out of the Talmud. You promised us earlier. We want that.
2 sources to show, brother.
Yeah.
And also,
welcome
Mr.
to the
Lewis.
source, man. Welcome to the source, man. We really execute our name.
Right.
And also, Mr. Lewis, I have 2 eyewitnesses, Pontius Pilate and Herod. And if you want to talk about that, we can get into that after you're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna checkmate that. I can't. I'm trying to find it.
I know. Oh, it ain't.
Excuse me. But my phone is dying. I don't know how much time I have left, so I want address something that Brother
So
K
you
said
don't
earlier.
want to show us the source.
Hey,
You're gonna
hey,
try
hey,
to get around.
how about plugging your phone in, brother? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it is plugged in, but I'm not sure if it's actually charging or not. So
Okay, well take
So
some
you got a
time,
broken phone.
get it nice and charged up, and come back with them sources because we don't want
yeah,
you
I
to
got
try to
time.
divert.
I don't know if it's charging or not. I'm guessing it's
Okay,
charging.
get them
But
sources then, brother.
okay, I think I found it. Okay, 1 second.
That's a heck of a phone. We don't know if it's charging or not. I think the screen busts when it's like that. So while we
Yeah,
wait,
man. So what I'm saying is, Pro Rizzo.
Okay, I found it, guys. I found it. Type
hold
in real quick because my phone dies. Type in physical appearance of Jesus and Paul. It's RyanBoosine.com. You see, it should pop right up.
No,
hold on. I
Josephus.
thought you said you was quoting Josephus, brother.
Yeah, I don't want to go to no bootleg back alley scholar. I want to go to Josephus himself and read where he says that Jesus was a hunchback.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Actually, the picture.
The hunchback
yeah, hold on. Yeah,
of the Second Temple.
Yeah, the actual description of Christ appears in
the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You want to see that? Give us the source.
It's found in the apocryphal writings of the Acts of Paul and Thelka, where it says he was a smaller stature with a bald head, crooked legs, and a good state of body with eyebrows, meaning and nose somewhat hooked. Hold on, what else to say?
Hold up, brother. You said that Josephus said that. Can we get the Josephus?
Not
Yeah,
this apocryphal writing that you want to bring up.
I got it right here. It's called the Halosis of Josephus. It says Christ is, and I quote, a man of simple appearance, mature
Where is
age.
this found? In the Jewish wars? Where? That's what I'm asking you.
Let me finish.
Book?
Halosis.
Well, you can't say let me finish when you ain't even told me where to find it at.
I just said it's the
I want to read it
Halosis
too.
of Josephus.
Look, I got my Josephus right here in front of me, digital and actual hardback copy. I want to read along with you, brother. So tell me, where do I find this at in Josephus? Or bring it up.
Yes, again, please don't cut me off. It's in the Halosis. It says a man of simple appearance, mature age, dark skin.
Hold up, brother.
That ain't a location.
Can we read along with you, brother? We asking you for the source. We don't care about what you reading, brother. We want the source so we can read with you.
Yeah, just type in Halosis of Josephus. I'll pull it up.
What is Halosis of Josephus? What is that? Like, where is that at in his writings?
I got it.
Let me pull it up.
I got it.
Yeah. Hello?
Play it again. Play it one more time so we can get. That's hilarious. I'm gonna share my screen. I just love that music. It's so whimsical. Just makes you want to drink some coffee afterwards so you can wake up. Good night. Jeez. All right. So here's where we're getting this Halosis from.
So the siege of Jerusalem.
Hey, Pro Rizzo, man, you gotta stop. You gotta stop saving this guy, man.
No, this is gonna save him right here. Right here. This is definitely gonna save him. Many of the images of Jesus we see today is that of Caesar Borgia, 1475 to 1476. He was an Italian pilot. I'm talking about this is in Flavius Josephus' works, talking about Caesar Borgia.
Who lived
put the music back on,
1,500 years,
bro. Let's get it. Weird. It's getting weird. It's getting weird, folks. Josephus is going to tell us about Caesar Borgia. Really?
Wow. About 1,500 years after his death. That's amazing.
A hell of a prophet. Josephus is a hell of a prophet.
Yo, man.
He got the name right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
1,500 plus years later, bro.
Hey, Pro Rizzo, back to my point I was trying to make, right?
Yes.
So they go to Proverbs, read Proverbs, they say, oh, well, that's talking about Israel, but in Second Ezra, it's talking about somebody who's handing out crowns, and we can find that being validated in the book of Revelations, correct?
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it is Jacob he's in Peniel, and what does he see? He sees not himself going up and down the ladder. He sees angels descending and ascending. He sees something there that isn't human. I'm sorry, but that's a very good point, bro. Rabbi Lewis, you hadn't demonstrated for us tonight that you have an argument. There's nothing serious about any of the scholarship and history. I mean, to go so far to exaggerate about Josephus in this last point and the holosis, I'm sorry, that's not credible. We don't take that type of information as credible. Because how is
Exactly. That's
going to write about
Slavonic.
1,400 years after he's dead?
That's the Slavonic Josephus, brother. That's 11th century AD that was written. All
Wow.
consider that to be they universally reject it and see it as a product of 11th century dealing with the Khazars, nothing to do with the real children of Israel whatsoever.
And this is by Afrocentric Queen. Afrocentric Queen. Who is that? Who is this Afrocentric Queen? Rabbi Lewis?
Yeah. Okay, so this kid. Okay, go ahead.
Who?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I never saw this page before, so I don't know that.
But this is exactly the holosis. Flavius Josephus.
Right.
And in here, it's supposed to be about the hunchback of Jesus. Really? Where? Let's keep browsing a little bit. Because see, this is what Jeremiah is saying. He's saying that this Son of Man is the one who's going to give the crowns out. Your argument was, no, because hunchbacks from Notre Dame can't do that. I guess if they're from America in college somewhere, I don't think they could do it either. Isn't that a fairy tale fiction? So, where's Josephus talking about the hunchback of Jesus?
Yeah, just type in real quick. Type in in Google the physical appearance of Jesus and Paul. It is RyanBoosie.com. We'll look at the quote. It's right there.
We want to read it in Josephus, brother. I don't know.
Right.
Why do
we gotta look at Ryan Grucey, man? Like, I mean, come on, brother. Your source game is terrible, bro.
Oh, it quotes the source. It quotes the quote from Josephus.
Well, if you're looking at it, why don't you give us where he's quoting from? That's what we're asking.
What I'm saying is this, brother. You claim he's quoting Josephus. I don't accept that to be true as having read Josephus. Right?
Hold on, we got Jesus on the internet.
Right.
So what I'm telling you is, brother, tell me what book of Josephus, War of the Jews, History of the Jews, what chapter do I need to go to? What section of that chapter? Like, that's how you source, brother. Okay. You don't just read something on Google, something on the internet, read it, and then come and tell people it's true.
And then Robert Eisler, the Austrian Jewish art historian, was able to reconstruct Flavius Josephus' description of Jesus in his holosis, or capture of Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's that Robert Eisler or whatever that dude name, something like that.
This wouldn't be referring to how Jesus' back looked.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, We actually have more than 10 sources proving he was hunchback. It's Nicephorus Callistia said that Jesus was hunchback.
Are any of them contemporary?
We'll get the date from next. The letter of Lentulus.
Are any of them contemporary? Like you told, you asked us.
The letters of Lentilius said he was hunchback. The letters of Emperor Theolophus said he was hunchback. Tertullian
which one of them are contemporary?
and Celsus said he was hunchback. Ephraim of Cyrus said he was hunchback. Zacchaeus said he was hunchback. Theodore of Mophasidia, Tertullian, I mean, just to go on and on, said he was a hunchback.
But all of this is behind non-blacks despising the fact that
where in Tertullian does he say that?
And this was Grecian invention. This is not about Jesus. This whole thing, this article is about how white folks wanted to whitewash Jesus. What are you even arguing for at this point? We know that there was a basic plan to make Jesus white. I think most of us know that. But you can't say that's what Josephus is saying at all.
No, because it says he was black.
Two totally unrelated times. Talking about 1,700, 1,400 years later. Josephus wouldn't have anything to do with that argument. And Holosis is about the capture of Jerusalem after Jesus dies. He's not even in it. Josephus isn't depicting Jesus as a hunchback of Notre Dame. And I've got Josephus's work.
All right, family, do us a favor, man. We got a lot of people watching, man. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the Source Debate League on YouTube. Subscribe to Genesis 49ers and Y'all World 777 on YouTube. And join us on Facebook at the Source Debate League. And show us some love, family. Hit the like button, man. Salakia, Pro Rizzo.
No, it's good. I'm Rabbi Lewis. You know, what is your goal? What is your purpose for your belief? You don't believe in the Quran. You've already X'd that out. You don't believe in the Hebrew New Testament scriptures. You didn't X that out. You're going to try Roman Catholic next, I wonder.
Okay.
Let's not forget, it tells you in the Quran that you're supposed to be learning from Israelites.
Right. I never denounced being an Israelite. I still believe I'm an Israelite. I never said I'm not an Israelite. When I said I'm not a great millstone, I'm talking about the doctrine, not the fact that I'm a bloodline descendant of Israel.
Then why would you uphold another language over your own?
Why? Because the Bible says he would turn us to a pure language, that our language was tampered with. That's in
so you don't think that's Slavonic?
Until then, our language is Hebrew, correct?
The Hebrew language has been thoroughly tampered with.
So, but you accept the old Russian version of Josephus that's been clearly considered tampered with by all scholars, didn't even exist until the 11th century Common Era, where it mentions Jesus as a short hunchback. You accept that?
Yeah. Slavonic.
Come on, brother. You tripping, man.
So you don't accept the Hebrew doctrine, but you want to be Hebrew. You know, we call those people, normally most people call them Edomite. That's a Hebrew that don't believe in the God of Jacob.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, what I'm saying to you, Rabbi, and the reason I'm saying this, bro, is if you're professing to be a Hebrew Israelite, you have a wonderful and beautiful language. You have a beautiful and wonderful culture. Why would you drop that and pick up Islam? Don't have nothing to do with our ancestors. And it comes from one of our greatest enemies, the Ishmaelites, who joined in with Esau to destroy our ancestors.
That's bogus. Abraham himself, who was Father Abraham, meet your mic. Father Abraham, may Allah be pleased with him, built the cobblestone. So Abraham, who was the progenitor of our progeny, Abraham, who was God's friend, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh's friend, Allah's friend, really, built the cobblestone. So to say this is a religion of another group of people, like who are chief enemies, Ishmael, the cobblestone to be circumambulated around in Hajj was built by Abraham, not an Ishmaelite, but Abraham himself. So Abraham himself was a Muslim. So Abraham was not a
any archaeological evidence that validates that?
Yeah, because let me make this clear. The cobblestone was in existence in amongst the 100 to 360 gods that the Ishmaelites were worshiping prior to Islam. And you're telling us that Abraham made that.
Abraham built the historical fact that Abraham built the cobblestone, not the Ishmaelite. Not.
Oh, I thought the cobblestone was a rock that fell from heaven.
Hold on, brother. Muhammad did not build the cobblestone. It was Abraham. He was not a Jew.
I didn't say Muhammad built the cobblestone. I said the cobblestone was in existence prior to Muhammad. It was amongst the many gods, 360 idols that they worship 360 days of the year.
Well, they also found pictures and depictions of Abraham inside the cobblestone. You don't know what you're talking about. They found
wait. So Abraham made his own religion after the Most High told him to leave his family because they were worshiping idols. So Abraham could turn around and make his own idol and then also follow the Most High at the same time. Which one is it?
The cobblestone is not an idol. It's not an idol.
So, okay, they don't run circles and bows with it? Are you serious?
What evidence?
Are you serious?
Go $5 ass down before I make change.
We need that evidence. We need archaeological studies that show it dates back to the time period in which Abraham. We need something to show some validity to this because hold on real quick. From my understanding, people been worshiping at that location before Abraham even existed.
Right.
Of course, that's easy to explain. Adam, alayhi wasallam, Adam, the husband of Eve, worship at the cobblestone. They used to worship in Mecca.
But you said Abraham built it, brother. How can somebody else worship there? Come on.
After Adam died, his temple was destroyed. It was in Mecca where you see the cobblestone today. He used to worship there after creation. And when he built got destroyed. And then Abraham came back and rebuilt what was destroyed after Adam died. So that whole area,
I'm not anti-Hebrew Israelite. I'm not.
Is that in the Quran?
Is that in the Torah?
Okay, so again, Adam worshipped at Mecca. He used to worship there amongst the holy angels in Mecca, where the cobblestone is standing to this day. And Abraham rebuilt that.
Brother, what's the source? Come on, where are you getting this from?
Says who?
Hey, Pro Rizzo, can you give me Deuteronomy's 28 and 36, please?
Okay.
This brother just freestyle like hell.
So this brother here is talking about Abraham worshiping a stone. Then he says that it was even worshipped by Adam. But let's see what the Lord told the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 32 and 6, as would be a curse upon the children of Israel. Matter of fact, you know what? Give me Exodus 20, man. 20 and 4. Exodus 20 and 4. Let's go straight to the commandments, man.
20 verse 4. Thou shalt not make an image, nor the likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water in the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, is a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me.
Now give me Deuteronomy 32, 28 and 36. 28, 36. Again, the Bible says that thou shalt not make, one of the commandments is thou shalt not make anything, and thou shalt not take the Lord thy God name in vain. How do you do that? By saying this rock, the cobblestone, is God. All right. Deuteronomy 28, 36. The Lord thy God shall bring, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, and thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which thou art neither not, so like it, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy father have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, both wood and stone.
Cobblestone.
Wood and cobblestone.
Christmas tree.
Right. So, if you know anything about the pseudepigrapha, in the book of Jasher, it lets you know that Abraham had an encounter with his father. Now, check this out, Pro Rizzo. Abraham had an encounter with his father. He confronted his father after being taught 40 years by Shem and Noah about the God of heaven and earth. He went back to his father to confront his father. His father was an idolater. He had a room full of stone idols.
Oh, I know. It's the wood idols,
right?
The big one.
Right. So Abraham goes in there and destroys the idols, all of them. He destroys them. His father came in and said, "What hast thou done unto my idols?"
All but one.
Right? All but one. Right? And the whole point of it is that he was confronting his father about idolatry. He says, well, the big one, I put food in front of the big one, and the other gods tried to get the food, and the big one destroyed the rest of them.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what his father said? His father said, "You expect me to believe that this stone came alive and destroyed the rest of these people? I know that you did it." He said, "Exactly. So why are you worshiping stone?" Then he leaves his father under the commandments of the Most High God and creates the cobblestone. That is ridiculous and absurd, man.
Okay, let me respond to that.
Go ahead, bro.
There is no response to that.
There surely is a response. First of all, this is ignorant because if you go to Numbers chapter 21, there was some serpents that the Lord sent some snakes to come and kill the children of Israel, right? Hello?
Yeah.
He had sent some actual snakes to actually go because they were so disobedient. So then Yod Wape, Hashem goes to Moses, Allah's goes to Moses and tell, you know what? I'm tired of these people. But you know what you do? You take some brass is like a metal, and create a serpent out of the brass to put it on top of a pole. And anybody who looks at this serpent, this image, this idol, anybody looks at this serpent of brass idol that was upon the pole, if you look at it, tell him to look at it, and if he looks at it, he will be revived from his snake bite. So in the Bible, God uses an idol, an image, an idol, a serpent made of brass to heal the children of Israel. He told Moses, take some brass and make a brass serpent and put it on top of a pole, and anybody who gets bit, tell him to look at the serpent of brass, and they will be healed. So even in the Bible,
is that brass, wood, or stone?
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. Now, so God, the point I'm making is God used an inanimate object that was a dumb idol.
An idol is something that's worshipped.
He healed the children of Israel with a idol, with the inanimate object that was.
Did they worship it?
Yeah, idol is something that's worshipped, not just any inanimate object, brother. That doesn't become an idol, brother. That sounds ridiculous. That would be like saying a seraphim, like the doll, the life-size doll that David took and put in the bed that looked like him when Saul was trying to kill him. Right. You'd be saying that's an idol, but it ain't an idol.
Let me give you the head.
I
got one more preset. Go to Psalms 138. Because you
got no. We ain't finna jump around. What I'm pointing out is that any inanimate object doesn't equal idols. Idols are something.
Okay, let me respond. I got one more.
Let me finish. God, you wanna finish when you talking.
I wasn't done what I was saying. Go to Psalms.
I don't care what you. I'm trying to make my point.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to make my point. Let me make my point because what happens is we'll make a point, then you just want to run somewhere else. You don't even want to talk about it.
And never acknowledge that we just debunked your point.
All right. So again, an idol is something that is worshipped as a deity. Was that brass serpent worshipped as a deity, brother?
Eventually, yes, they started worshiping it, and God told them to destroy it.
You can say eventually. I'm talking about right then when God told them look up on it. Did he say worship it to be healed, or did he say look up on it to be healed?
He told them he told there were snakes that were biting people. He told
Brother,
Moses,
did he say worship it to be healed or look up on it? You only got to answer one or two. Okay, look up on it. All right, thank you. So it ain't an idol.
Okay, let's go to Psalms 138, 1 through 2. Give it to me in the NLT. And then furthermore, I'll get that. Psalms 131 through 2.
Oh, hold on, brother.
Do you acknowledge that separation, though?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you acknowledge that difference between worshiping something, making it an idol,
right,
and just looking up on something for healing?
Okay, so let's prove the Muslims don't
because
worship
you can look up on the temple because
the
temple was created.
Allow me to respond to that, please.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
One of the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was named Umar. Umar was one of the Sahabas of the
Muhammad don't exist. We don't have any contemporary writings of Muhammad.
Okay, so let me finish what I'm saying.
Gonna use your
so
methodology.
He said that the cobblestone can neither harm me nor can it benefit me. So to say Muslim, Umar said the cobblestone can neither harm me nor can it benefit me. And he said, I only kissed the stone because I saw Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kiss the stone. If I would have never kissed it. And when they used to make the call,
so
to
Muhammad
prayer,
is God now. He do it.
Please
Muhammad
don't cut me off. Please, I didn't cut you off. So also when they used to make the Athan, the call to prayer, when they used to make the call to prayer, they would stand on top of the cobblestone to do it. So if they worship the cobblestone as an idol, why would they stand on top of it? And if why would Umar say that the cobblestone can neither help me nor benefit me? So that's nonsense. So they don't worship the cobblestone.
So you tell me they're not bowing down before that cobblestone with their hands prostrated and worshiping that cobblestone when they go to Mecca? Brother, you are a liar.
I'm not.
You
Go to
are
Psalms
a liar.
138, 1 through 2 in NLT. I'm gonna show you something.
So what is prostrate? What is prostration?
See, go to Psalms 138, 1 through 2 in NLT.
All right, I'm asking you, what is prostration commemorative of? What is the point in prostrating before something?
Worship, brother. What's taking you so long, brother? You know that's worship.
Exactly. He don't want to say it because he know that.
No, I'm about to prove text that. Give me Psalms 138, 1 through 2.
Hey, we're gonna get that Psalms. We're gonna get that Psalms. But hey, man, didn't I already show you to get away from that NIV, man? What's wrong with you, brother?
Take the NIV, bro. This is the NLT.
Oh,
Psalms 138 and what, brother?
1 through 2 in NLT. Let's see what the Hebrews did before the temple. Yeah, y'all bow before the Kaaba. Let's see what the Hebrews did.
Yeah, but we bow before the power.
Psalms 138.
Wait a minute. I want to be clear. I want to be clear on something.
For a second, please. Psalms
138. We heard we already heard Psalms 138, 1 and 2. We heard you say that, but you just made another comment that takes it that you ain't even keeping context. There's a holy of holies in that temple where the spirit of the living God lives in that temple. They are worshiping that. Brother, I'm almost done.
Go ahead.
They're worshiping that spirit. They're prostrating that spirit that's supposed to be sitting over the mercy seat in the holies of holies. Don't try to make it. Brother, can I finish? You just finished talking about wanting to finish, but you cut me off every time I say a word. Just because you don't like that I'm cutting you to your sinews, man. Sit back and take this whooping, man. All right? There is a spirit within that temple that is being worshipped, brother. Stop trying to misrepresent what the Israelites are doing.
And there's a spirit inside the cobblestone that's being worshipped. There's a spirit inside the cobblestone.
You just said ain't nothing in it. You just said they stand on top of the cobblestone.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
No human being except the high priest can even walk in the holies of holies. Right, and I dare him to stand on the mercy seat. I dare him. He'll drop dead on the spot. He stand on the mercy seat.
All right, go start at verse 1. Start at verse 1.
This dude here.
Go ahead, bro. A Psalm of David. I give you thanks, O Lord, with all my heart. I will sing praises to your name before the gods. I bow before your holy cobblestone that Muhammad said. That's what I worship. That's what you want to give us for your proof text.
So the Bible says in Psalms 32, it says, I bow before your holy temple. That's like worship. The same
Yeah, what's in the temple, brother?
Hey,
What's in the temple?
Hey, hold up. Let me say something real quick, family. Let me say something real quick. It's a reason why he didn't want to use the King James Version. That's the reason.
We know, but we're gonna play this. We're gonna go down this rabbit hole, Jeremiah. Just hold it. I know, Lord, you're a powder keg. I already know.
Oh, okay.
I know you're a powder keg. Just hold up.
Oh, yeah, I was about to cut that up real quick. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Now, I bow before your holy temple. And holy temple, folks, in the Hebrew is Kaaba stone. You see it? Kaaba. K-A-L.
Strong's H, 1964. Heichal. Heichal.
Now, does that translate to Kaaba? Temple? No, it doesn't. I call in the Hebrew, not Kaaba. Kaaba, let's see. Let's do a quick search. Kaaba, language, origin. Now, here's where etymology helps, folks. Kaaba is a language. It is a tonal language, isn't it? According to legends, Muhammad set the Kaaba stone. Now, and I'm gonna put this on the screen so y'all can see this. Let me stop sharing, and then I'm gonna give up the floor to Jeremiah. Please say to y'all. This is interesting. Here's the stone. Now there's a fragment of it. It appears in 1850. And that's the front side of it. That's what they say. Now, when you're doing this, you know, I'm gonna go down here to the history and tradition. That's important. That's important. The black stone was held in reverence well before the preaching of Islam by Muhammad. It has been associated with the Kaaba, which was built in the pre-Islamic period in the site of the pilgrimage of the Nabateans, who visited the shrine once a year to perform their pilgrimage. The Kaaba held 360 idols of the Meccan gods. Did y'all hear that? Idols. Is that the temple of God? No, because God has no here. And I'm gonna use your NLT and show you what's in your NLT with idols. And she say, you know, this is Isaiah 48, verse 11. I will rescue you for my sake. Yes, for my own sake. I will not let my reputation be tarnished, and I will not share my glory with idols. I'm sorry, folks. Let me reshare that, and I'm going to pass the floor back over to Jeremiah. This is the book of Isaiah in the New Living, which is a garbage version of the Bible. Isn't that Isaiah 48, verse 11? Rabbi, you going to give us Kaaba, 360 idols before Islam? You're going to give us Abraham is over here setting up a rock somewhere with some idols. 360 idols. I guess that's an idol for every day of the year, except for leap years. That is not what God does, and that's not what Abraham's doing. And then Isaiah is roughly 900 BCE, not 900 BC, 850 BC, some scholars say. Abraham isn't even around at this time, even though this is before Islam. How are you going to take Isaiah? How are you going to take Abraham from 2000 BC, second millennium BC, bring him all the way down to the point of this Kaaba stone? How are you going to do that? 360 idols. Rabbi Lewis, any retort? Any explanation?
Yeah, sure. First things first. Not all Muslims venerate the Kaaba stone. There's a group of Muslims that were called the Qarmatiyans, and they believe that the Kaaba stone was pagan, and they actually kidnapped the Kaaba stone.
Smart guys.
They actually kidnapped the Kaaba stone and stole it, and brought it back to where they were living. They were living in Iraq or Iran at the time. So the Qarmatiyans, which were a radical sect of Shia Muslims, actually, if you do some research, real research, thought the Kaaba stone was pagan. Actually, so not all Muslims venerate the Kaaba stone anyway. But that's a whole other topic. Now, as far as Abraham, there was some Kaaba is also called Baka, according to the combat kit by. Okay, I'm sorry. You got.
Hold on. You backtracking.
You got a background.
You're backpedaling. Why? Why are you backpedaling?
Can you repeat what you were saying? You were breaking up.
Okay, you're backpedaling. The Kaaba has been associated with the fertility rites of Arabia.
Okay, can you guys
has something to do with Abraham?
Yeah, I'm a proof. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. However, I do not hear that these 365 of God.
We got a bad.
Yeah, it gives you feedback.
We got two devices going, obviously. And then here's the kick part about this here. This bowing and kissing, right? It's described in the Tanakh as idolatrous. That's what you're bowing and kissing. And if it's dealing with fertility, then guess what we're probably kissing? Just saying. This is plainly idol worship amongst the Islamic believers. This is idol worship. See, nothing about the subject. And it is crying shame, isn't it? Here, some of the writers remark on the apparent similarity of the black stone in its frame to the external feminine genitalia. I guess we're kissing something. We're kissing something, aren't we? Now, according to the Islamic belief, Muhammad is credited for setting the black stone in the current place in the wall of the Kaaba. Found in
Pro Rizzo, after you get done reading that, go ahead and pull up the Kaaba stone so everybody can see what they sticking their head in.
Okay, I've got let's see. Images of the Kaaba stone.
There you go. There you go.
That's the JJ.
Megan Thee Stallion would be proud of y'all.
Cardi B.
Yeah. For showing that WAP right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're doing. You're going over there to kiss the WAP. The WAP. You didn't tell me that don't shape like a vulva on a woman. And what are their hands doing? What is your hand? Get your hands away from there. Look at that. Your nasty little paws. This is what we're kissing. Really. It's fascinating. And that right there is what you're saying Abraham built. You believe that. But all the Islamic sources say Muhammad said it there. Here's a question. Why are you trying to throw Abraham in this idolatry? Rabbi Lewis.
Okay, can I respond?
Yes.
This is ignorant. The Bible mentions the Kaaba by name. Go to Psalms 84:6. It calls it Baka. Now, the Bible says
how you get Kaaba from Baka?
Let me finish what I'm saying, please. And I yield.
Okay.
So it says Baka in the Bible, but Baka is another name for Mecca. Baka is just another way to say Mecca. So the Bible actually talks about Mecca. Hold on, let me finish. Please let me finish. And I yield. Okay, so it actually says we had an echo. It says who pass through the valley of Baca, make it a well. The rain also filled the pools. This is talking about the Zamzam well, which is a well-known water well in Mecca. So the Bible actually mentions Mecca. It calls it Baca, but Baca is just a euphemism for Mecca. And it even talks about the Zamzam well, that the well-known, renowned Zamzam well at Mecca. So the Bible actually quotes Mecca, and it calls the valley of Baca. Now, there's two Bacas. There's a Baca in Israel, and there's a Baca in Medina. But this is a twofold prophecy. This is a twofold prophecy. This is twofold.
Wait a minute. He just throw Medina in there as a twofold prophecy.
Oh my God. That's why Allah said, hold on, let me finish. That's why Allah said he would change the direction of the Qibla from Jerusalem to Mecca, and people would be upset about it. So when it says he passed through the valley of Baca, there's two Bacas. There's a Baca in Medina, which is at the cobblestone. There's another Baca on the road to Jerusalem. So this is
you just wanted a holy site like Jerusalem, so you created Mecca at Al Medina, brother. Get over it,
bro.
Y'all wanted a holy site, so y'all created one to be like the Jews. Get over it. All right, come back home to your ancestors who laid the foundation for everything you trying to stand on. All right. Come back home to the ancestors that brought forth the Messiah, like your Quran states, brother. You out here just saying any and everything.
And this wouldn't be a pilgrimage to Mecca. It would be a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. This is not a prophecy. When they walk through the valley of weeping, it will become a place of refreshing springs.
You got to pull up in the KJV, brother.
Spring coming out of the cobblestone.
No, go to the KJV in the NLT. You got to pull them in the KJV. The KJV calls it Baca. Now, Baca is another way more to say Mecca. We can prove that right now that Baca is Mecca. We can prove
wait a minute, you already admitted there was a Baca in
Kaaba.
go ahead.
You said Baca was the Kaaba. That's what you said.
That's Palestine. That's Palestine, bro.
Yeah, there's two Bacas. There's the two Bacas. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. What you need to show us is that the people who wrote the Bible during that time period was referencing Mecca.
Yeah, go to
you
Google.
Have any source on
Go
that?
to Google real quick and type in Baca's Mecca.
Google is not a source, brother.
Type in Baca's Mecca.
You keep doing this. Go to Google. Go to Google. Go to Google. Google is not an accredited source. Do you have an accredited source? Maybe a historian that says, hey, these people weren't talking about the Baca in Israel right next door to where they stand. They talking about some stuff hundreds of miles to the south.
Correct. Yes, I prove it. It's in the combat kit by Ahmadiyya.
Prove it. Give me the source.
I'm giving you the source. You gotta yield. I'm giving you it's the combat kit by Ahmadiyya. He showed that this is talking about Mecca.
Is he a scholar?
Say Mecca. Go ahead.
I have to ask this question. Is he a scholar? Does he hold any accredited degrees in his story?
Ahmadiyya was an historian and academic who trained Dr. Zakir Naik, one of the most renowned Islamic scholars on the planet from India. Ahmadiyya was a renowned scholar of
Ahmadi, you say? How you spell it?
Ahmadiyya.
How you spell it? You sound. I didn't say.
So is he violating the rules of scholarship?
Some would say it's not even scholarship.
Damn.
Uh-oh. Professor Reggie done spoke. Dr. Reggie has spoke, man.
So what I did was I went to the maps just to make the case. Just to make the case. You're talking about the difference between Palestine and some euphemism for Baca. Is Baca being in Jerusalem the same place as Mecca?
So Ahmadiyya wrote an excellent book called The Combat Kit, where he shows that.
So is Mecca the place of mourning and weeping?
Yes, Baca. Yes, the word Baca actually means the same thing in Arabic. Type in Baca real quick. Type in B-A.
Okay, so how does that make it the same location.
Okay, go type
Just
in
because
Baka.
it's the
Please. Type
same
in
name.
Baka. Type in Bakkah.
I'm looking at Baka right, brother. I know there's a Baka in Mecca. Why do you keep doing this?
Okay,
I'm
I
asking you
told
a
the
question
people.
that ain't got
The
nothing to
people
do
may
with
not-
me looking
the
at
people-
Baka.
The people may not know that. You know, they may not know this information. So somebody pull it up, please.
Look, I'm telling you, look, it's only a problem if we're combating it. If we're saying we acquiesce to that point, brother, move forward.
Brother, I want the people to see this. Type in Baka real quick and pull it up on Wikipedia.
Brother, we don't care what you want. I just told you we acknowledge it, brother. Can you make your point?
Medina.
Like what source do you have that proves that the people in Judea is speaking about Baka in Medina, in Mecca? Like, don't just say, hey, look at this. The names sound the same. One spelled with 2 K's and an H, one spelled with C's, but they sound the same. Cool. We get that. They sound the same. They don't prove they are the same.
I just gave you the source. Ahmadiyya spoke the combat kit.
The combat kit.
The combat kit by Ahmadiyya, one of the top Islamic scholars in history.
Well, bro, here's the Gaza Strip. Here's the Baka they're talking about in the Bible. Here's Medina.
You're not sharing your screen if you mean to.
Yeah, I'm trying to share my screen. Let me stop and reshare. It doesn't make no sense. Here's Medina. Here's Medina. Way down here south of the Gaza Strip. That's Medina. Question: what the hell is Abraham doing down there?
Really? Where's Midian, and where did Moses go after he killed the Egyptians? So where'd he go?
Hold on. God didn't give Abraham no damn Medina.
Dude, where Moses?
He gave him Jerusalem.
Hold on. After Moses killed, hold on. After Moses killed the Egyptian soldier, where'd he go?
He didn't go to no damn Medina.
Where did he go?
He went somewhere up here. Here,
where did he go? Where did Moses go?
Let me show you where he went.
Go ahead, pull it up.
Let me show you where he went. Where's Egypt? Here's Egypt. Moses is over here in this area.
After he killed the Egyptian soldier, where did Moses go?
He's up somewhere near, I don't know, Alexandria. He could have been anywhere in this area.
He went to Midian. We went to Midian.
Section between Cairo, between Alexandria, wherever Egypt is being located, wherever they're talking about it is. And I'm just doing here's Egypt. They have to travel across here to get into Israel. Now you're talking, and this is where Abraham comes to. They're in the land of Gershom. They're all in East. They're all in what they call
and Midian is not that far south.
Where's Midian?
Mecca
today.
Midian, brother, I'm speaking. Midian is not that far south. Mecca is way further south than Midian is.
Where's
so I think
Midian?
you have a
Midian today.
brother. Are you gonna shut your mouth till I finish?
Go ahead.
Golly, man. Like I was saying, you need to get your geographical locations correct, because Midian would be pretty much just south of Edom.
Right. Too far.
Mecca is a lot further south than that.
And here's Palestine. That's Medina. That's in Saudi Arabia. Here's where Palestine is. I'm gonna blow this up so you can see it. See this right here? Where it says God.
We don't see your screen.
You still don't see the screen? Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Where are you, Jeremiah?
I mean, we can see that you talking, you know what I'm saying, and everything. It's just I don't think it's saying. All right, we see you now.
Let me turn my camera on because that might be what the issue was. Because I'm steady pointing in.
For the record, Midian's in Saudi Arabia.
This is Gaza Strip. This is Palestine, right?
Saudi Arabia is a huge place, so you know it's pretty much the whole peninsula, and Midian would be north, while Mecca would be south on the border of the Red Sea.
That's right. There's Israel. There's Jerusalem, right there where it says Beersheba. That is the Gaza Strip, right in that little area right there. Now, when you start talking about Medina, do you not see the distance from here to here? and the children of Israel is in the Sinaitic Peninsula. They have no business down here. And you can see on the side the stone that this don't have nothing to do with Abraham at all. Abraham is not going to come. He's going to leave his home that God promised him by the covenant, that he walked the land, and he's going to come all the way down to build a damn rock and take a leak somewhere and put up a JJ in the wall and then walk off and say, here, all y'all Arabs, you can have it. I don't fool with this no more. I got tired of my hobby. This don't have Abraham, bro.
And if you're looking at my screen right here, you can see Midian is right here to the north, brother. See how far north that is? That's right underneath Petra.
Hold on, share your screen now.
Oh, it say I'm sharing. Is it not showing?
Yeah, turn your camera on. And then I had to stop sharing too.
I about to say we couldn't see your screen that whole time you was talking.
Really?
So maybe it's just not going through with the screen share then.
I think
say I'm sharing my screen, but
Jeremiah needs to he was sharing the screen, he took it off, but he's gonna have to.
Oh well, it's all good. Well, like I was saying, it's to the north, along the Red Sea, while you got Mecca way further to the south. So I mean, the brother has his locations mixed up. Now he could say they both on that peninsula, I mean, or that landmass, but they're in different geographical locations. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'm not quite understanding how you just try to just connect dots that don't connect. It looked like to me like what you're doing is you're going on Wikipedia or Googling something real quick that sound good to you, and you're running with it without cross-referencing, without checking to see its peer review status, without checking to see what other scholars are saying about it, because what you're saying is not the consensus of scholarship, bro. It's just not.
So how do you can't bring Abraham that far south anyway. We don't have any record for him traveling that far down south, Rabbi Lewis. None at all. So, you know, that isn't making the case for you concerning Abraham. You're involving him with the act that's the very reason why he left his father's house for idolatry. And then making that argument puts him right back in the same pocket with his father. That doesn't work. The idolatry alone that's involved with this kissing of the stone, that would be saying Abraham just had no regard for the Most High at all. And Muslims do this all the time. They always want to bring Abraham into he was a Muslim. He was a Muslim. He was a Muslim. No, the Muslims don't even start to exist about 300 to 400, 500 years after Christ. Makes no sense. The whole movement, the whole Islamic nation in itself is way after Christ. But that's some hellified inculcation is being put in the mind of the Islamic believers. It's pretty pathetic, but it works. That is some hell of a deception.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I think it's getting late. I gotta get up early in the morning. I'm gonna call it a night. It was great being on here with you brothers, man. I had a great time, you know, but I think this brother needs to go back to the drawing board, or maybe sit down with a panel of other brothers and really do some in-depth research and searching about the things he's looking for in a spiritual system, because a lot of things that he's been saying here today, I feel like have contradicted the spiritual system he says he's for in the Quran. He started off trying to act like Jesus didn't exist. Then when the Quran come out and say that Jesus is the Messiah, now Jesus do exist, and there's other things to argue with about Jesus. So I just think he built his foundation on sand. He need to go find some strong stone, stand on that, build his foundation on a stony ground, and so it'd be nice and sturdy when the winds come.
Right.
And with that, I say shalom, family.
Shalom, Brother James. I appreciate your contribution tonight. And you too, Jake. Jake, any closing words from you, brother? Jake the Great. Jake the Great.
I was on mute. Okay, my bad. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you again for allowing me on the panel. And honestly, whenever I see Rabbi Lewis, I just always gotta hop on and say something because he always say the wrong thing. That's one thing I'm gonna let y'all know about this man. This man, he always say the wrong thing. He just know how to do it. Like, it's amazing. It's really amazing. But you, Rabbi Lewis, I don't know who you are really. You know, you really prop yourself really high that you wrote 30 books and everything. You know, you got all that scholarship, but I don't know what you want to call it, but you know, just stay studying, man. Like, actually, you know, put your eyes on the sources and read.
Good advice. Real good
But other than that, all jokes aside, Rabbi Lewis, keep studying. You seem like you're really into education. Just pick the truthful stuff, you know, the right stuff, not all feelings, fact, or not even fact, because fact is based on somebody's opinion, but truth. Find the truth. And thank you again, panel.
That's right.
All right, brother. We appreciate it. Yeah, man. Listen, Pro Rizzo, man. Look, at the end of the day, if you all want to know what truth is, you have to start with the people of the book. And you have to uphold your own ancestry. You have to put honor to your ancestry and reverence yourself before you reverence others. And that's a good place to start. Everything else can be hammered out. You just have to know where to start from, right? So Rabbi Lewis, man, we're always here, man. You're always welcome to come back. I hope you felt treated well. And you know, at the end of the day, we're vibrant people. You know, we're gonna bring color to the thing, man. So we got a lot of people that watch us and vibe out with us, man. Based upon information. So
I wanted to say totally about thanks again for having me on the panel. It was a great experience. Hopefully, inshallah, this was background noise. Inshallah, this was edifying. My name is Rabbi Lewis. You want to check out my work, just go to Amazon.com and type my name, Rabbi Lewis. I've written over 30 books. Also, I'm a professional stock investor. If you want to get into real estate and stock investing, check my work out. Thanks again, and hopefully we can do this again one day. Shalom.
Enjoy it. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Thanks, guys. Okay. Good night.
Again.
All right. Good night, bro.
So, good night, folks. You can see the difference between when you have sources, you do not. You can tell where we as a people get off track when we're jumping here, jumping there. Learn about whatever it is you believe. Study it. Go to the origin. Go to the culture. Go to the language. Go to the location. If you can get there, go there. I know all of us can't afford to take a plane and go to Saudi Arabia. But we can see how people do kind of scant around the world and they'll find out about, oh, there's manuscripts, yeah. And they'll still walk away with their opinion. They're not diving into it. They just want to get enough to scoff and mock at it. This is the world we're in. So, as I always say, to the law and to the testimony, Isaiah 8:20, if they speak not according to these, because there's no light in them, folks. They look up to heaven, they curse their God, they curse their king. This is Pro Rizzo 1. This is the source. Like, subscribe, share. We do welcome you all to come up. I appreciate the comment board back there. Y'all y'all been rolling all night long. It's been a very entertaining show, folks. And it is getting late. With that, I will turn it over to Jeremiah. Please say the Yah. Folks, may the Most High keep you in the well way. Shalom.
Source gang. Go, coach.
I'm going to have to say this, and I know Kansu does not want me to do this. You're not even worth discussing these matters with.
Little mother gonna try to rob me. Well, I'm gonna show you how we do it up here in Vegas. No, I wasn't trying to rob. Shut up! Why I bust a cap up in Now who sent you? No.
Source up, we standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
Our nuts is the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you're messed up. So fess up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. Source up, we standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
Our nuts is the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you're messed up. So fess up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. Sword clown, know that it's over like it's the fourth down. We the source now. Hear a big bang with tanks on ground. More than the scrimmage, yeah, we forcing the sin, yeah, we pushing no limit. Leave the fight with no blemish. You the hometown, but you not receiving no privilege. We gon' do you bad, rape, rob, and pillage. But we nothing like the white man. I can see that you a big fan. Every time we go live, I see you in the damn stands. Watching and plotting, I see that you stalking a bit.
Yes.
You laughing at people that seeing you taking
Here's the definition of plagiarism. The practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as
Crazy
one's own.
ass nigga, we the source, yeah, we cite source. Spitting hot flames more hotter than hot sauce. For real? Chummy ass nigga, I'm grabbing the lights off. Yeah. Me and my amigos, we kill it and take off. So wake the hell up, the source of what validators. When you looking at the source, we know that we elevated. Our ancestors' writings, we work to commemorate it. Now you fully understand why the source is so motivated.